Hey everyone, my name is Jennifer Zarilla. Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Zarilla. I'm actually live in the Dominican Republic. I'm here with some of my friends from the MLM Hangout Lounge. We just wanted to do a live hangout on Facebook and how to use Facebook to help out your business. We have on the call right now a few people. If we can start by introducing ourselves. Anthony, could you go first? You can just say your name and where you're from and what company you're with. Okay, we can't hear from Anthony. How about David? If you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself and telling us a little bit about yourself and the company you're with. Catherine, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. I'm Catherine Leo, and I'm from Long Island, New York, and my company is Thrive Home Services, and thank you for doing this for us.
Great, so happy to have you here. Go ahead, Kelly, if you can let us know a little bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm Kelly. I'm in Montana, and it is snowing a lot. I am with, my company is Lavelle.
Awesome. I'm so happy to have you here. Kelly actually won the car on her business. She had the car bonus. So I was looking at her car the other day. It's really cool. Congratulations again.
That's sweet of you.
And
my daughter's with me.
No problem. And also, Robin, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi. Hi, Jennifer. I'm Robin. Primarily, I just provide business services and marketing support for people who have home-based business that they work. This is primarily, I'm here primarily because I've been stuck inside with a 5-year-old all day.
Can't really hear you, Robin. Is there any way to make your mic a little bit louder?
Nope, it's built in.
Okay. And then we have Sean Walker with us. He's going to teach us a lot today, but go ahead if you can introduce yourself and what company you're with and where you are.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Sean Walker. I'm out of Phoenix, Arizona. I actually live on a houseboat out here. I do promote a primary company, and then I do a lot with online lead generation, and today we'll talk about some Facebook stuff. And if you have questions, definitely type them in, and we're going to go through a lot of fan page stuff and whatever other things that you guys want to learn as well.
Thank you so much. If you want to go ahead and get started, I guess the biggest question is, how do you use fan pages to promote your business?
Cool. Well, what I'll do, let me go ahead and I'll shut my camera off and I'll do a screen share real quick and make sure you guys can see this, because I did a presentation. I've done several webinars on this in the past, and let me just show my entire desktop here. And so let's do this. Can you guys see that screen?
Yes.
Cool. I got some head shaking. Cool. So, one thing that people like to do is they build a fan page, which is awesome, but as you've probably seen, is not a lot of people get traction with them. They might have just yesterday I saw someone comment and said, I have 900 fans and only 20 people were seeing my posts. Now, one thing that Facebook does, and some people like it, some people don't like it, is they make you what we call pay to play. So if you want to promote with a fan page, you really have to promote your posts, your content, your whatever you put on there. You have to promote that using what we call paid ads to get out to your audience, which some people don't like that. However, it is one of the most valuable things you could ever possibly do. And this is why. If you have a target audience on your Facebook fan page, so for example, I target people who are in network marketing companies. And the reason I do that is I like to help with lead gen, and I help with online strategies, help with different things like that. And usually through that, I'll get people to join my primary company as well, because they like my training, they like working with me, they like that type of stuff. But what Facebook allows you to do, which you cannot do with anything else, that's absolutely amazing, is you can promote to your fans and all of their friends. So for example, I have about 1,200 targeted fans. Almost every one of them either likes network marketing, likes online marketing, likes direct sales, likes something around that realm of category or expertise. And from those 1,200 people, my reach is 80,000. That's how many people that I target, because I can target their friends. And as all of you probably know, that if you like network marketing or in network marketing, most likely your friends, or you at least you have a good large amount of friends that are in network marketing as well. So let me run through. So here's, I mean, this is just a presentation I gave a few weeks ago, or a webinar I gave a few weeks ago. So, I mean, real quick, I'll just kind of blast through this. So this is what a lot of people are doing with their fan pages, is they're just posting straight links to sales pages. After the first of the year, Facebook is going to crack down. They are going to absolutely hammer down on everybody. And if you're posting up ads that are super spammy about, hey, we're making money, hand over fist without doing anything, click here, and it takes you directly to a sales page, they're going to start banning people. They're going to start shutting down accounts. They're just, after the first year, they're going to hammer down even more than they already have in the past. Tagging people in posts that aren't actually involved. You see this in a lot of different groups, and people get very frustrated with it. That they're going to start hammering down a lot. So those are just a couple of the mistakes that you can avoid. If you guys want to just take a quick screenshot of this, you'll have them, or snap a shot on your cell phone. And then also, people treat Facebook like a search engine. If people want to use Facebook the right way, I mean, Facebook is a living, breathing, organism, really. I mean, it's just a social platform. And so no one woke up this morning saying, hey, I want to buy something, I'm going to go to Facebook. That's not really, what they do, right? They jump on Facebook and they're perusing through their friends' social platforms, or they're perusing through people's pictures, they're perusing through, different posts and pages, and then they go, hey, what's this? So-and-so looks great. What kind of makeup is she using? And they click on a link, and now they're reading about some specific strategy or style or tip to put on makeup, and now you can actually sell a product to them. That's the process that Facebook's really good for. And so that's really what you want to do with your fan page. So let me just blast through these real quick. I might be able to screen share them. But the fan pages are so brilliant, because it's literally the same as building an email list, but almost better. The one downfall about having fans on a fan page is you don't own the list. Facebook still owns it. Where if you're building an email list, you physically own those emails, and you have them, on your possession, and they're in your computer or in a hard drive somewhere, and you can save those. Where if Facebook shuts you down, you lose all of those fans, which means you lost your entire list. But the one thing that I was talking about earlier that you can do with Facebook that you cannot do with an email list is promote to their friends. And this is huge, because if you're promoting Lavelle, actually I heard Lavelle. So if you're promoting Lavelle, I'm not super familiar with their products. What's a product that Lavelle has?
We have vitamins, shakes, and patches that you wear on your skin.
Okay, cool. So vitamin shakes, patches, and the shakes are probably energy shakes, weight loss shakes. There's probably a few different ones. Vitamins, probably some healthier organic stuff, because that's kind of the direction a lot of companies are going. And I mean, if you're promoting that kind of stuff, the type of content you can create with a fan page is huge. You can treat it like a blog. And so when you get a fan who likes, maybe it's organic living or weight loss or, health and wellness or those types of things, all of their friends probably like the same thing, because that's just their circle of influence. I mean, most of my friends are, in the home business industry, or they like lakes and wakeboarding because that's what I do. And you guys probably know this, that a lot of your fans are that same way. So when you can target all their friends, one person is literally, I mean, it could be 20, 30, 40, 100, 2,000. I mean, if one person has 4,000 friends and 3,000 of them are like-minded people, I mean, that one person, you can now target them and 3,000 of their targeted friends. So that's what I mean by a fan page. It's almost better than building an email list, because, I mean, I turned 1,200 fans into 80,000 targeted people, and every one of them likes my target market, which is huge. So that's one thing. Yeah, go ahead.
So with Lavelle, we're not allowed to have, excuse me, a fan page because they want everyone to just go to the corporate fan page instead of having a bunch of individual ones.
Okay, and this is actually one of the things that we see a lot of. And when we teach, or when I talk to people about creating a fan page, I wouldn't create a Lavelle specific fan page. What I would do is create a fan page branding you, and it might be like Kelly's. I mean, what would you say Lavelle overall is? Just health and wellness, or like weight loss, or what would you say?
Not necessarily just weight loss, mostly like energy and digestion, joint support.
Okay, and is it all natural products? Is it organic products? What's their real go-to?
Yeah, all natural, in our facilities, certified organic and pharmaceutical grade.
Okay, and is that why you got in the company?
No, mostly because I just was feeling better as a product user.
Okay.
Honey.
So you're feeling better. Okay, so I would do something like this, and this is just me brainstorming real quick. I would do something like, Kelly's health page, tips on feeling younger, healthier through natural ways, or organic products, or something like that.
Okay.
And you never really mention Lavelle. And what your whole page is about is, feeling better, having more energy, being able to chase your daughter around the house, at all hours of the day. It's all of that, because there's so many people that want the same thing.
Right.
I mean, everyone, right? People are hitting 30, and they're like, man, I'm just not as young as I used to be. And everyone's going organic, everyone's going that direction. Right. And so you could build a fan page that way, and you're not branding Lavelle, but you're branding you, and you're creating fans who like what you like, which is, natural products, feeling more energetic, feeling healthier, seeing, an all natural, well fit, awesome body. And so Lavelle really has no control over you doing that. Right.
And so will that still, so how much do you do on just a fan page, and how much do you do just on your personal page?
I would do most all of it on my fan page. And the reason being is because on my personal page, I have friends who don't want anything to do with network marketing or my primary company or any of that. I do post some stuff on my personal page, but not a lot. But I keep my fan page for strictly business. And in your case, you could post once a day some cool stuff, and it depends on the content.
Right.
Now, let me jump over. So here's some content. Let me just run through these real quick. So here's some cool content ways that you can do for your fan page. Now, and we're just talking about Lavelle in this case, but you can do this literally for, you can use it for makeup, you can use it for travel, you can use it for gold and silver, you can use it for I mean, you can use it for real estate. My mom, actually, I help her a lot with her real estate business, and she does this stuff with her real estate using her fan page. But create content around it so you're more energetic, you're healthier, you've seen positive results, so you can write a quick article or shoot a video and talk about that kind of stuff. Hey, I've been doing these types of things and those types of things, and this is kind of what I've had a result with. And then at the end of it, hey, if you'd like to know more, click on the link, or check this out. But now you're giving them valuable information on how they can be healthier without actually just spamming a link somewhere. So that's one thing. You can post tips and tricks and methods for really whatever you do. It can be, maybe you're doing certain exercises, and then after your exercises, you drink one of the shakes that Lavelle provides, and it's been helping you with, muscle recovery, and it's been helping you with higher energy after your workouts. But you could talk about an entire workout, because that goes hand in hand with living a healthy, vibrant lifestyle. And it could be something as simple as, hey, here's a cool workout you can do in less than 10 minutes while brushing your teeth. I don't know, I don't know. But then afterwards you say, hey, I've been doing this, and I've been drinking this after workout shake that's really helped my body recover, and I've seen some awesome positive results, and these are kind of them. If you want to know more, click on the link. And now you send them to Lavelle's product page. So your fan page is treated really like a blog. Does that make more sense to you?
Yeah, really helpful. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Can we maybe chat more, like, one-on-one about, like, videos and stuff too?
As far as like your specific product or for your content?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do, anything that you think would help someone live a healthier, more vibrant, energetic lifestyle. That's what I would do. One thing when you're in the marketing industry is you have to step out of being in the business and step into the shoes of, okay, what would, if I were brand new and wasn't in this business and I was like perusing around Facebook, what would I know or what would I read? And think about this as you're going through Facebook. Some of the stuff you click on, you might be clicking on things. Oh, here's 3 tips to shed 5 pounds before the new year. Cool, what's that? That's a great article to write. You could write something about that, or you can make a video. If you're, and I gave this example with people, if you're in a makeup company, one of the many, and you have a certain way of applying makeup to make your eyes pop, or to make your eyelashes look fantastic, or your lips look more, I don't know. I'm not a makeup guy, but just throwing out some examples. Shoot a video to where, hey, look, here's exactly how you apply this makeup to make your eyes do this, or to make your lips do that, or to make your cheeks do this. And that's what people are going to click on. That's what they want to know. They're like, ooh, how does she do that? I want to know. So that's an example of makeup, and you can do a video of that, which is very cool. And that you can do all that without ever promoting a product or doing any of that. And then at the end, go, hey, if you like the way this looks, or you think that this is something that you'd be more interested in, click on the link below, or click on the link in this video or something. You could direct them then to a page that will promote that specific product. So that's one way you can do videos, which is cool. And you can do it with workouts. You can do it with, for you, health and wellness, being with Lavelle, it's vitamins. Maybe you can do like a cool, you could even do like a cool recipe, because people like that kind of stuff, right? They're always wanting to find ways to eat better. And so if your target market is people who want to be healthier, people who want to lose weight, people who want to have more energy, maybe you have a specific couple of meals that you use or you make for your family that have really helped. And you could say, hey, check this out. Here's a cool recipe. And then you can kind of put it in there. By the way, it's been shown that it's really difficult to get all of the nutrients you really need through food, especially in today's world with them being processed. Our family uses a very good organic vitamin to supplement these things. And if you want to, check out what I've been using, click here. So now that you've given them value, but you've also given them a place where they can dive deeper and live the same lifestyle you're living.
And created a need.
Exactly. And so that's, and when you know your product, and you know your products, I mean, way better than me. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head right now.
No, you're doing good.
But as soon as you find your target market, and that's what I would do if I was in health and wellness, and then I would promote, depending on what your product is, I would promote to those people who really need it. Like if you have something that helps people with diabetes, I wouldn't be promoting to the person who's like on the verge of getting diabetes. I would be promoting to the person who's about to die from diabetes. And my promotions would be something like, this may save your life. Because they're going to click on that and they're going to read it. And they're going to want to know about it. And you could come up with a story. Maybe there's someone in your company, and that's just an example. I don't know if you guys have anything that works well with that. And you have to be careful with making claims, but you can come up with something like that and then borrow stories from people. I mean, you can write an article telling a story about someone in your company. Maybe they had some great result, and put a little disclosure in there. This is so-and-so's personal story. When I interviewed them, results aren't typical or something like that. And then just write a story, but never mention the product until really the very end. And then you can say, hey, if you want to know more about this product, click here. And then when you redirect them, you send them to one of Lavelle's pages, product pages, and then you don't have to worry about any of the claims or any of the medical stuff, because they'll have all the privacy policies, they'll have all the terms of service, they'll have everything there for you. So that's just another way to write some cool content. So those are some ideas for content. Let me see, I have some other pictures up here. So here's how I drive traffic. Since we were talking about different content pages, this is kind of the strategy behind it. And I just taught this last night on a big webinar as well. I do like campaigns inside of Facebook. And literally you can do this for like $2 or $3 a day. I mean, almost next to nothing. It literally costs less and is way more targeted than driving in your car and going to a networking group or buying leads from somewhere else, because you know that they're going to like health and wellness, or they're going to like weight loss, or they're going to like travel, or they're going to like network marketing, or they're going to like whatever it is that you want to be in. And so here's an example of one I did, and I targeted, in this one I targeted entrepreneurs, network marketers, and those types of people to like my page. And then and here's another one. This is actually one of the best converting ones I've ever had. It's my girlfriend and I and Mark Hoverson when we were down in Florida. And I just sent this out to people, and probably for about 30 cents a click, I'm getting people to like my fan page. Now, what allows me to do, what allows such great reach is, if it's a targeted person, now I can target them and all their friends. So for 30 cents, I might be able to reach out to 500 people from one person, which is huge. And here's another thing you can do. When someone likes your fan page, you can go to your fan page, then you can message them. Sometimes it goes straight to their inbox, sometimes it goes to their other inbox, but now you have people that you can create a line of communication with, and it's a conversation opener. In your case, if someone liked your, Kelly's 3 tips a day to live a healthier, organic life, you can message them and just go, hey, saw you liked my fan page, so cool. I was promoting to people who, really enjoy healthy living and organic lifestyle. Is that typically how you like to live, or you want to live that way, or something like that? And they'll respond, well, yeah. And then you open conversation right there. They've just told you that that's what they want to do. So those are the like campaigns, and you can do it ultra cheap. And then here's some different posts I did. And so here's one, if there is one thing in your business you would like to get better, what would it be? And I promoted that just to get ideas to help people with lead generation. That's actually where this training came from specifically. I had a whole bunch of people reach out and say, we want to learn more about Facebook. And so I put together some stuff that I'd been doing. And then this one on the right was, and then this is just me because I promote online business and online lead gen. And I talked about online positioning for your home business. And that one just floats around. I mean, and again, for like $2 or $3 a day. I have one that I did about Craigslist, promoting your business on Craigslist. And it's reached 20,000 people. And it has opt-ins on there. And it's all pure content with a video on how to promote Craigslist. And then it has a place where they can click to look at products, and they can opt in if they want. And so you can do the very same thing, because a lot of companies have been saying, well, you can't do ads specifically for a product. You can't do ads specifically for our company, which this gets you around that completely, because if you write an article about 3 tips on, how to shed love handles or something before the new year, and you have that floating around the internet, you're giving them pure value, and then you can put clickable links inside the post going to products that you use to help with whatever that is. Does that make sense?
Sean, in the chat, Catherine was asking how, she does services. Catherine, do you want to explain a little bit more and ask your question?
Sure. So I don't have a product per se because I promote the services. So the results that people are having is more money related, how they're saving money, how they're making money. So I don't want to keep talking about money, so I've been doing is like inspirational posts and things like that. So what do you suggest I could add? Because my fan page, I had a lot of people, a lot of interaction, and now, because they want us to pay, it's dropping every day. So I wasn't sure if I should pay, because if I do start to pay, I know they're going to make me pay more. So what's the balance there?
So you were doing a lot of save money posts. Now, were these just were they blog posts, or were they just posts right there on Facebook talking about, hey, you can save some money, or what kind of posts were they?
It was mainly what I use is pictures, and so the words that they need to read are right on the picture, because I know a lot of people don't read anymore. So they don't. So I was putting all my words on the picture. So it would just say, Michelle is saving money on her energy bills. Let me know if you want, information. But I don't. My whole thing is when I was in a product, I knew how to promote that like nobody's business. But here I'm feeling like I don't know how to use Facebook to promote it. I'm using it to create relationships. That's basically what I'm doing. So I'm just going in, like you said, and going and saying, hey, thanks for liking my post, or are you interested in this? And I'm creating more of a relationship with my fans, but I feel like they're not getting to see anything anymore.
Okay. So, what company are you with?
North American Power, but we're in the process of rebranding to Thrive this weekend.
Okay. So you guys do all electricity then?
Electricity and gas. We also just got into home automation and security. So now we have some products, but we didn't launch it just yet. And we have something else coming this weekend.
Okay. When does the home security and stuff come in?
It should this weekend. So then I'm going to be able to have a little better handle on things because it's an actual tangible product.
I would do. I mean, inspirational posts are good, but if you're going to promote ones, you really want them to be interactive. You want them to be engaging. So it could be something. If I were to promote one in that realm, I would probably do one. Yes or no questions are really good. I actually just wrote some of these. I just wrote some of these down. Actually, I didn't put them in this slide. Let me look them up real quick. So these are some great engagement ones. Fill in the blank questions. A or B status updates are really, really good. Yes or no questions, or number status updates. So you could ask someone, you could ask your entire audience, hey, who's really cut back and done some great ways to save money, and if you have, what amount was it? $300 a month, $700 a month, $1,000 a month. That will get people engaging. So you can come up with several different posts that way to engage
Because I
those.
have asked people, like, if they have an alarm system, and someone's like, I don't want to answer that question. I'm like, all right, I'm sorry. I was trying to engage them, and they were like, well, we don't want to tell you all this, and we don't want our homes being broken into, and who are you? I'm like, oh, God, this was a bad post.
So you could just rephrase that. You could rephrase it as in, who thinks an alarm system's valuable? Yes or no?
Okay.
And then they don't have to actually say whether they have one or not, but then they can say, hey, yes. And if you have 99 out of 100 people say yes, they're valuable, and only 5 of them have an alarm system, their need and want. They want one. They may not just think that it's enough money. You can even ask the question of, who thinks alarm systems are overpriced and overrated? Respond back with A if you agree, or B if you don't agree. That's one that you can do as well. Just to get them engaged. But as far as really giving them value, that's a nice way to engage them. But now you want to give them value. You want them thinking, okay, I want to go to Catherine because, man, she's just, she doesn't try and sell stuff. She's just constantly giving us good information. And it could be an article about alarm systems. It could be an article about, different areas and their crime and their safety, or, having children without an alarm system, or, the importance of having an attack dog or something like that. And you can do the same thing with energy. You talked about having electricity, and you talked about gas. Well, you can write an article. You could come up with tons of different articles about how to save money on your electricity, not just with your company, but here's 3 tips of saving energy for your house in the wintertime. And it could be something as simple as like using blackout curtains on more windows. It could be something, saving money on gas, and it could be about setting temperatures at a certain time. It could be saving money on electricity because they have a different thermostat in their house as opposed to the old school ones that don't do a very good job. It could just be little things about saving money that way, always driving them back to, hey, here's an overall way to save money because you may be spending way too much on using, a different electric company or a different gas company.
So I'm going to have to blog. I was trying not to blog.
No. So you don't necessarily have to. Let me show you guys this, because this is something that I've taught before that is absolutely awesome. Let me pull this. Can you guys see that part of my screen where it says MITS pages?
MITS pages, yeah.
Cool. So a lot of people think, okay, I have to blog, and I would avoid, unless you love blogging, I would avoid it as long as possible. And the reason I say that is because it's a lot of work to build the websites. It can get expensive if you want them professionally done, and it takes a lot of work. You have to consistently blog 4 to 5 days a week to really get traction using a blog, and that is like a long journey road to start to get a lot of people. I probably blogged for like 3 or 4 months, at least 3 months before I got my first lead from blogging. And you can do this so much faster. So if you look at this page right here, it says create this page. And this is something, you guys can grab this. If you go to SeanAndrewWalker.com/MITS pages, this is a free capture page system, free lead page system. It costs $1 to get started, and then it's totally free. But this right here looks exactly like a blog, and it pretty much is a blog. You can go in and change the videos, you can change the header photos, you can change the side video, you can write all of the article in there, and the little blue that you see in there is actually clickable links. It's fully adjustable, and what you can do is you can get like a Bitly account and so you can shorten the links. So let me go to my templates real quick, and I'll pull one up just to give you an example of how they look. I have millions in here. Let me pull up one that I think I have a few that are blog posts. Yeah, let's pull this one up. Nope, that's not it. Just kidding. Different one. Okay, so here's one that I did for Origami Owl, and it was promoted specifically for Origami Owl reps. And so you can go in here, and I pulled the videos out, but you can change all these headers, you can change all this stuff, and then I had all this ad copy in here. So I just wrote total articles, and it looks exactly, I mean, they can even comment on it on Facebook. You can change out these pictures, you can change out everything. So you can have this whole page, and if you don't want videos, you can hide these videos, and you can just write content. So there's several of these, and these articles can be as long as you want with clickable links. So you can click here, and off it goes to, you know, opt-in pages. It can go to, you know, several different things. So that is one way where you can really create a blog feel on your Facebook page without actually having a blog. So you use Bitly and get a real, you can get just shorten the links, because if you look here, the links are long. So they're, you know, they're kind of long and not that pretty looking. And if you want to put it on Twitter or put it someplace else, the link is way too long. But if you use Bitly, oh yeah, see, Catherine's got Bitly. If you have, yeah, so if you use Bitly, you can just shorten it and then throw that up on your blog, up on your Facebook fan page, and then you can send that out on Facebook, promote that, and you don't have to blog every single day. You could literally create, honestly, this is probably what I would do. I would do a like campaign and get a bunch of targeted fans to my fan page. So every day I'm getting like 4 or 5 new fans. Well, if I get 4 or 5 new fans every day and they're targeted, their friends like what they like, and so now you probably have at least 100 to 200 people that you can reach to from those fans. I would write maybe 10 different articles, and I would just circulate those through at like a couple dollars a day through my fan page, and they would be out running around, you know, all of your fans. And every day, if you get another 5, 6 to 10 fans, that's another 400 or 500 people your blog post could reach. And you just keep them running, and then you track them and find out which one converts. You track them to see, okay, this article converted really well, it's got awesome interaction, people are clicking on my link, they're going to my product page, I'm making sales, sweet. If you have one out there that's not doing good and no one's clicking on it, you can maybe change the pictures to see, okay, maybe it's the picture and that's why someone's not engaging, maybe it's the headline, maybe that's why someone's not engaging. Or it could be the article itself, like, maybe no one cares about whatever topic I just wrote on, and you can get rid of that one. And I mean, you can literally, I was just talking to my buddy Vince last night when I did this, and he runs his articles for about 5 weeks. Unless they're still engaging, he'll keep them running. So you could probably run, I mean, literally write 3 or 4 articles a month, and that's it. And just keep them constantly engaged in your fans. And then every day you're getting new fans, and you're going to have a bigger reach, and those people should get to read your good content as well. So that's how you can that's how you can run a fan page without blogging, but still make it look like a cool blog. Does that help?
Yes, thank you very much. Like,
Awesome.
Because I know I'm not passionate about blogging, and I didn't want to have to create this full fan base again, because I already did it on Facebook, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I guess I just don't have the energy to do it again, and I don't know what to write about. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, 'cause mostly what I do is I teach mindset, so I've been writing blogs about that, and I'm like, okay, maybe if I can combine them all, you know, and meditation and things like that. So it's all energy related, but it's not my business per se, you know.
Okay. And that's something that you could write about too. You know what I mean? You can write about, you know, meditation and positive energy. You know, have one of those venturing out into the world of your fans. And that one may not be so much targeted towards your products, but it could be targeted towards like-minded people. And then from in there, you might send them to a place where they can work with you, because people want to work with like-minded people. So that might be something, you know, where you talk about business and you talk about positive energy and you talk about meditation in a cool article. And then you send them to, you know, something, maybe it's a video, maybe it's an audio, maybe it's whatever, and it talks more about working with you and being in your company and setting up a lifestyle that you really desire. And now you're promoting it to people who may want to work with you, and they'll join your company, not just buy your products.
Yeah, thank you, because I definitely have been attracting people who understand law of attraction, network marketing, and also meditation and the importance of what you feed in your brain. So I don't have to teach all that anymore. So it's good.
Right.
So I get like a head start with everything, you know. Thank you.
And yeah, you're welcome. And that's actually awesome, because inside Facebook Power Editor, which is where you'll build like these ads for your fan page, you can separate those audiences. So you can actually target, like if you had a post talking about law of attraction and you had one talking about meditation and positive energy, you could send that to and promote that to the people who like those things. Those are their interests. And then you can, the alarm systems and the gas energy and the saving money, you would target that to an entirely different audience, because that's what's, I mean, it's amazing how cool fan pages are. Because I mean, I have like a couple thousand friends, you know, and there's a big group of them that are network marketers, and there's a group of them that are online marketers, and there's a group of them that love law of attraction, meditation. There's a group of them that just like to go party. There's a group of them that like to do other stuff, and they all have their friends as well. I mean, so if you had 500 fans that liked meditation and liked positive energy and liked law of attraction in the book or the movie The Secret, and those types of leaders and those types of people, your audience would still be 20 or 30,000 people just from that, because now you're targeting them and their friends. So they might not get involved with you, but they might see something come through their news feed saying so and so likes this, you know, and they'll go, "Huh, what's this? Law of attraction," and click on it because they like that. Find you guys connect, they like your page as well, and now you just attracted someone through someone else's friends to come work with you.
Perfect.
So you can totally separate. Yeah, so you can totally separate those. Does anybody else have any questions? It's almost easier just to work one-on-one with people. Anybody?
I could
Heidi
have.
was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that Heidi's with us, and she does jewelry and candles and Perfectly Posh. Is Perfectly Posh, is that jewelry as well? Does anybody know?
No,
What Perfectly Posh? Oh,
it's
go ahead.
pampering products. We have lotions, body scrubs, soaps, lip stains, so it's more of the pampering side.
Oh, okay. So what would you suggest, Sean? Like I was thinking for jewelry and candles, like maybe like a home decor or decor, you know, type thing, or there's something else I had said. I forgot what I said.
Fashion, you said. Fashion.
Oh yeah, fashion for the jewelry. Do you find most of your people are like for the candle side of things or the jewelry part?
Was that for me? Sorry. I'm new to this whole webinar thing.
Yeah, do you find that the people that are into your product in like for jewelry and candles, it more of like the jewelry side or the candle side? I mean, is it, I don't really know much about them. Like, is the jewelry, what kind of jewelry is in them, or, you know, how do people What makes them want to buy your product?
For the Perfectly Posh, I have clientele for that, and I have clientele separate for the jewelry and candles. They're two different companies. Perfectly Posh is more, I tend to market to everybody, but it's more of the younger generation that hits it. For the jewelry and candles, they're soy-based candles, and in the candles are rings, earrings, or a necklace. You pick one of the three, and they're valued anywhere from $10 to $10,000. And you won't know which you have, like the price range of what you have in there until you melt your candle, and then it's revealed in a little foil packet. And you'll either, if it's a more expensive ring, there'll be a piece of paper with another ring in there saying, congratulations, you won another ring of this size valued at XYZ. And then you have to contact the company's home quarters, and they'll send you the other product. They won't mail the more expensive rings because they fear that if for some reason shipping drops it, they'll get the coupon, and then you're out of the free ring because they won't know what you got until you contact them.
That's actually kind of interesting. I'm curious, do you find that your people that are buying them because of the quality of the candles, or because of like the gamble of what kind of jewelry they're going to get? That's really interesting.
I've had people buy them because they like the lottery effect of the jewelry, but I've also had people buy their rings just because they're candle freaks like me. I never actually was big into candles. I was a Scentsy representative for 2 years, and then my husband for our wedding anniversary was like, you know what, I'll get you one of these jewelry candles and we'll go from there. And that was October 17th, and I just signed up for jewelry and candles last week. So I liked the gamble of it.
Okay, very cool. Well, good luck, and that's great.
Thanks.
So you could do, Heidi, you could do a couple different things, really. In your particular case, since you are promoting multiple companies and kind of multiple different things, you know, with jewelry, and then you have some fashion, some home decor, I would brand yourself, really, on your fan page. But what's cool about that, and you can write different articles. You can definitely write some articles about home decor, and you could, you know, totally bring in, you know, candles, things like that. You can also write articles about fashion, and you could even blend like the fashion and the candles, since the candles do have like the jewelry inside, or you have a chance to win some of those, or I guess discover some of those in your candle. I don't even know how you would say that. So with those two things, you could write some articles that way. But this again is what's so brilliant about Facebook and building a fan base there, is you can isolate them where you can't do this with an email list. I mean, if you have an email list, you're really targeting one group of people, and that might be people who like home decor, or your email list is going to be all about fashion. And you pretty much have to stay that course, because if you send a list of people who love candles something completely different, you know, maybe, I mean, some other topic, they're going to be like, well, what is this random? Why do I have this? But with fan page, you can totally do that. I mean, I have a lot of friends, like my buddy Ray Higdon doesn't even have anything on his fan page. It's just a picture of him saying Ray Higdon, which is cool. And he has a list of 60,000 people on his email list. And you could do the same thing with your fan page, and then inside of Facebook, you literally could promote different things to different people. So you could target down people who like fashion, and you can, you know, come up with some cool posts and promote them to just those people. And then you can come up with some stuff about, you know, people who love jewelry. You know, maybe handmade jewelry, maybe different aspects of jewelry, maybe what colors to wear with certain types of jewelry, and promote your stuff on the back end of it, and promote it strictly to the people who like jewelry, who like fashion, who like that stuff. That's the one thing cool about Facebook that you can do. And you guys have probably noticed this. You might have 1,000 friends or fans on your Facebook fan pages, and when you post something, it goes to like 20 people, maybe 50 people. which is good and bad. It's cool because Facebook allows you to target specific audiences, and everyone who loves jewelry, the post about jewelry is going to them. And because and that's what's actually, I like that, because if I'm posting something about travel, I don't want it to go to people who hate airplanes. I only want it to go to the people who love traveling. And if I'm talking about a staycation, and doing cool stuff around the place where you live, I don't want to send that to the people who want to be world travelers, because they're going to be like, well, I don't want to stay here. This is a stupid article, and they're not going to read it, and I don't want to lose that rapport with them. So that's one thing cool about your fan page. And what you can do is you could actually do a light campaign inside of Facebook and target each of those groups. So you can target a group who loves fashion, and you can actually put them into a specific audience. And you can target another group who loves, say, home decor, and you can put them in a specific audience. And you can actually save those audiences, and then when you go to promote your posts and your different whatever, it could be pictures that you promote, it could be whatever you decide to promote, you can strictly promote it to those people and their friends, and it wouldn't actually intertwine with one another. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's another huge benefit of how Facebook allows you to use your fan page. And you can, a lot of these strategies, guys, you can do this on Twitter too. We teach like how to create Twitter follow campaigns for a specific audience. And the cool thing, one thing really, really cool about Twitter is when someone follows you, you can direct message them. You click the follow button and you direct message them. So as soon as someone follows you, you have an open line of communication. And you can just say, hey, I saw that you followed me because you love fashion. You could do something like, hey, I had an ad out about, loving fashion. Is that how you came across my page? And this is like on a Twitter platform. And they go, yeah, that is. Cool, well, what do you, and now you just automatically, immediately have an open line of communication with someone who loves fashion just like you. Instant rapport built. So it's a little easier on Twitter that way to directly connect with people than it is on Facebook. But on Twitter, you can't target all of their friends. And sometimes when you send something through, like if you tweet something, it'll just blast through the news feed and then it's gone. So you kind of constantly have to update that. Where Facebook, if you promote something, it just floats around people's news feed and on the right column until you shut it off. So there's pros and cons of both, but you can use both the same similar way. And I mean, literally on maybe $10 a day, you could have, between the two platforms, you could probably have 20 to 30 people every day to talk to about your business without ever having to leave home. And it's still not the traditional, like, or the spamming style ads, right? Because a lot of people are like, ads are stupid. You need to create a relationship, and that's totally true. You're gonna build a way bigger business if you create that relationship. And this is a way to use ads just to find the people who love what you love. And you'll find yourself like crushing it if you use some of those. So does that help you out?
Yes, a lot. Thank you.
Awesome. You guys have any other questions?
No, I just have to say that Twitter used to be really, I don't know, a lot more powerful, or there was more powerful tools. I don't know how long you've been on Twitter, but there used to be a tool that, like, if somebody followed you, and depending upon their tags or how they are found on Twitter, you could direct message them a certain message. So, like, you didn't have to do it. It would automatically happen. As soon as they follow you, all of a sudden they'd get a direct message like, hey, I see you're into X, Y, and Z. Me too. And just kind of start the dialogue. It was really powerful, but they removed a lot of the tools for Twitter now.
Yeah, they started doing that because they were getting a lot of people just sending links. Like, you would follow someone and it would just be immediate, like, hey, I see you're a network marketer, watch this video. And you're like, oh, that's no good. So they kind of put the hammer down on that. But they have some really cool stuff now to where you've probably seen it. They have Twitter cards and they have really cool follow me campaigns. So they have some tools, but they've made it's automated, but still very personal, which is cool. And now, like, if you guys do use Twitter and you want someone, if you send them a direct message, make sure you're following them, otherwise they can't send you one back. That's one thing that people have gotten hung up on. They're like, oh, this person followed me. They'll shoot them a direct message, and then they'll get nothing back, and they're like, why am I not getting anything back? Both people have to be following each other. And that was because, again, people were just sending links, like just spamming people and getting things shut down. Which has kind of caused problems. Like you guys, a lot of you saw that my Vimeo account was shut down. A lot of my friends' Vimeo accounts were shut down. Like my buddy Ray's YouTube account was shut down. Jonathan Budd's YouTube account was shut down. And all these guys are just pure, content helping people out. And it's because the people just blasting links around has been causing things to get completely crushed.
Sean, what are they using now? Because we're trying to figure out, because ours got shut down too. Like,
oh, yours is Vimeo or YouTube?
Vimeo.
Vimeo, yeah. Vimeo just put the hammer down. Like, there was probably, hundreds of us within a week just totally gone. Like, I'm still recovering, trying to get all my, I just got a message from someone else going, your video's not working. I'm like, oh, I forgot that one.
And that's the main one that we use. Yeah, that's the only one we use.
Wistia. So Wistia is what I use now, and it is way, way better. It is so good. Because Wistia, you can put social boxes underneath so they can share your video. Wistia, if you can also embed it into an email. So if you get an email that has you can have embed the video in the email, which is killer. At the end of the video, which YouTube, they sent you straight to like all sorts of related videos. Vimeo kind of just went blank or restarted. Wistia allows you to put captions in there and allows you to put links in there. So at the end of your video, which is so cool, like the end of a lot of my videos, I go, hey, jump on this live lead generation workshop, click here. They can just click the middle of the video and they go right to the registration for the workshop.
Can you put the link in the chat so we spell it right?
Yeah, let me see if I can.
No, yeah, I can look it up.
It's just it's just Wistia. It's I think it's WISTA or WISTIA. It is by far the best platform. I'm actually happy that my Vimeo got shut down. Otherwise, I would have never found Wistia. So it's a much better platform.
Okay, thank you very much. I found it.
Cool.
Is it free or is there a price to it?
It's free up to so many videos. It's free up to like 50 or 60 videos, I think it is. I think it's 50. There you go. She just threw the link up. Cool. It's free to about 50 videos, and then once you go past the 50 video mark, it starts. There's actually, I think, a monthly cost to it. There's a couple different levels. There's like a premium where you just get unlimited everything. So, but most people don't go over 50 videos unless you have just tons of stuff out there.
Now, would you recommend for people doing videos, like you mentioned quickly about the makeup and stuff, there's 100 videos on, doing smoke eyes. Would you do it anyway just so that people are connecting with you? Or would you just say, nah, there's already 100 out there, it's not to bother?
I would try and be unique. Maybe there's something that you can do. Maybe you can put a twist on it. I know it's challenging because a lot of people have done the same stuff over and over and over and over again. But you can target different keywords. Now, Wistia doesn't rank like YouTube did, but if your YouTube accounts are still open, you can do it something like that. Where a lot of people, and this comes down to keyword research. A lot of people will keyword research it as, they'll title it smoke eyes or something like that. Where think on your side of it, like what else would I search for besides, how to do smoke eyes or something like that, and find those keywords. And I mean, it doesn't hurt to throw it up. It really doesn't. But you can try and put like a creative twist on it on why someone would click on yours as opposed to someone else's. But this is really why the content is so important, because now if you have fans all over Facebook, and they all want to look more beautiful in less time with less makeup and less money, and that's your article, then in your article you can lead them to, hey, check out this cool video on how in 3 minutes you can, you know, make your eyes pop like Angelina Jolie. I don't know. I guess that would be more lips, but you know, and that's something that people would watch more. I mean, because think about how many people buy like People magazine and buy Us Weekly and buy all of those other magazines so they can read about the superstars. So if you relate one of your articles or one of your videos to one of them, like get lips like Angelina Jolie in less than 1 minute, I mean, you would have everyone clicking on that. I mean, I might click on that just to see how you could do it in 1 minute. I'd be like, how does this work? Just out of complete curiosity. So that's one, you know, and so you could do all of those, and then maybe someone famous, you know, has awesome eyes, and you know how to do that trick or do their method. You can be like, hey, get eyes like Hollywood superstar so and so in 3.5 seconds. I mean, I don't know, whatever it takes, because people want to know that. They're like, whoa, you know, this is great. So that's the way you can kind of put a twist on it, as opposed to like just the generic how to get smoke eyes. You know, because someone goes onto YouTube or someplace and they're like, okay, I've seen all that, seen all that, seen all that. But then when you come across one going, get eyes like Angelina in less than 3 minutes with a simple method, people are gonna be like, I could do 3 minutes. And again, that's where it's important, you know, write that article out. And then inside your video or inside your article that's promoting to your fan page, direct them to that video, or even have that video inside that article. Because, for example, like the pages I showed you over at SeanAndrewWalker.com/MITS pages, like there, you can put those videos inside that blog template. So you can write that whole article and then have that video right there, you know, which is something you can do that's cool.
I have a
and
quick
most,
sorry.
yeah, what's up?
No, it's go ahead.
And one thing most people aren't doing is what we're talking about, fan page. They do like a smoke eyes video and just put it on YouTube and hope people come across it. And then they get no traction. And they're like, well, why not? Because unless you're really, really good at ranking videos, and if you're going to rank for a keyword, probably like how to do smoke eyes is tough. Like you have to be good at SEO. And SEO is constantly changing. It can get expensive trying to backlink things and make sure that hits the top of YouTube or the top of Google. It's tough, and you don't have a relationship with those people. Man, if you got fans on your fan page and you're promoting your specific video on how to do a certain tip, trick, technique, you know they're going to see it. And they're going to be like, wow, this person's awesome. They're making me look more beautiful every day. And they're going to love you for it. So, what was your question, Catherine?
Well, I was going to suggest, this is something that I had started when I noticed that all of our reach was going down, our organic reach. So I was going to suggest that all of us commit to going and liking the content that we're putting on our pages to kind of help boost it organically as well as paying for it. So that's what we had done. We created a group and we had about 10 people. But the problem is that people are people, and how they do one thing is how they do everything, and they got lazy and they stopped. So if everybody could commit to, I was like posting on 40 people's pages and not one person was online. I'm like, this is a waste of my time. That's why I got fed up with my fan page, and it kind of just kept going. You know, so if everybody could do that, we have at least, you know, we have how many of us here? 5. All 5 of us interact with each other. We can maybe pull more people into it and just go and like each other's content, even if it is, you know, competing or this or that, just to support each other. I think we could really help with the reach.
Yeah, it definitely would help with the reach for sure. With some, it would be really good. With others, it might not help that much. Like, for example, if I like and comment on makeup pages, I'm not sure how big my fan base is for, I mean, the females, of course, but my fan base is small compared to your guys's. I mean, it would help some. So that's one hiccup. And then again, like, how much time were you spending when you were commenting and liking like 40 different pages?
It was taking me about 15 minutes or so. I would go and like, I'd interact with something on their page and then, you know, go to the next one quick. doing it maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Okay.
It wasn't taking
So
a lot of time, but it was
not
frustrating that no one else was returning the favor, you know.
right, and that's the hard part is, you start to 15 minutes, people go, I don't have time for that. Like I don't have time for that. Again, that's a big reason why I do promoted campaigns, because I mean, literally for $3, I had one of $3 a day running for the last like 2 weeks. I had 19,000 people see one of my blog posts, which is just, I mean, it's humongous. But yeah, I mean, it definitely will help. The more people you can get to like, engage, and comment on your page. But the one downfall to that is we are all liking and engaging out of like an obligatory. I don't even know the word, but out of obligation, really. And it's still not getting what we want, because if we have 900 fans and no one's engaging, that means we're not giving them what they want. So we need to figure out, okay, why aren't these people engaging? Are they not seeing it? Do they not care what I have to say? Is it the wrong market? Is it the wrong message? What's going on here? Because if it's the right market and the right message, you're going to get tons of people just going, ooh, that was awesome. And you see the ones that go viral from all sorts of different avenues. People are like, oh, this one's great. And they just start commenting, liking, sharing, and it goes nuts. Another one that you can do, which is cool, is you can do little competitions, like on Facebook and your fan page. You can come up with some sort of competition and have like some sort of giveaway, and that will give tons of traction to your fan page. And I would have them wrapped around, some sort of blog post or some sort of content or some sort of video, some sort of something. That way, when they come in there, they get the competition, they engage because of the competition. And we do a lot of these too. We might give something away for the person who has the most shares for a certain blog post. Like, hey, like, comment, and we might put it in the blog post, like, or in the video, going, hey, whoever shares this with the most number of people by this date is going to win, this. And it might be, for like me, it might be like a coaching call. It might be, a webinar that I've done in the past. It might be, a couple hour training session on how to do your Facebook stuff or Twitter stuff or whatever. And so then people just go crazy sharing it with all of their friends, and they have the most likes, the best comments, the most shares. And someone just posted up a photo contest. Exactly. That's a great way to engage. You've seen them, right? Someone puts up a photo and it says caption this, and then all of a sudden everyone's like coming up with crazy captions, and it's just launching everywhere. And if you're in makeup, since we were talking about makeup, it could be like someone's horrendous makeup, like horrible, right? And it could be something like, caption this, whoever comes with the funniest caption, wins something. And then inside of there, inside this small little like contest, you can have a link, to a blog post that says, ensure you don't wake up in the morning and leave the house looking like this. And then you can have, an article that talks about, better makeup or organic makeup, or, spending less on makeup or whatever, and then link them to a product page. So now you have tons of engagement, a way where they can read and get more value from you, and then you can promote a product on the back end of it. Just another way to create a huge relationship and rapport with people, where they go, man, this person's awesome. Like, they haven't tried to sell me anything yet. This is great.
And how often would you do those types of things?
I know some people that do contests like once a week. They do them like every 7 to 10 days. And they do competition for 7 days or less. That's one of the big ones, is more than 7 days, and people are like, nah, and they start to neglect it, going, I got time later. If it's too short, like probably 2 days or less, you barely have time to build momentum. So you could put in there like, caption this. To win, you must have the best caption and share it with 2 friends, or tag 2 friends in it, or something like that. And that way everyone tags at least 2 friends, and they captioned it. And I mean, it will just go crazy that you can do it that way. So, and they actually there's a company out there I think it's called Heyo, and they do specific like capture pages for contests, and it's really cool. They have it to where, you know, someone clicks the like button, it automatically shares it on their Facebook and says, I just entered to win, and then that person's like, what did they enter to win? They click on it. I mean, they were converting at like 60%. I mean, it was nuts. I haven't used their stuff, but you know, share and like contest campaigns are good. I mean, even if you don't have anything to win, like you could just do caption this, and even if you don't have a product, because you don't want to really give away what you sell, but if you're in let me think here, like Lavelle, for example, like if you're in health and wellness, weight loss, those types of things, you don't have to give away your specific product, but you give away something that's around that niche. It's around health and wellness, it's around weight loss, it's around a healthy lifestyle. You know, if you're in the makeup industry, you don't have to give away what you sell, because you don't really want to give away what you sell, but you want to give away something that goes along with what you sell. It complements it. For example, someone gave this analogy. They're like, if you're selling hamburgers, you're gonna complement it and give away things like mustard, ketchup, relish. So they have these, and they go, well, I need a burger. So that's kind of what you want to think about when you're doing giveaways like that.
Yeah, you know, like with my product, I feel like the only people that are going to want my product to like win it would be ones that use it, you know?
Right.
So the other thing I was just thinking about, another way to get fans, if you are a blogger or you do like to blog and you do like to write articles, to look for blogs that are on your topic and to do like a guest post, offer the blogger, and they'll take you up on the offer usually, I mean free, just to let you go and do an article on something and then give you like a little area as an author of that article to like your page or, you know, however.
Yeah, that works good. One thing that Facebook kind of started cracking down on, it just made me think of that, the likes. Inside your posts, don't put, you know, click the like button or click share or comment below. Facebook has, if you use those words, it's one of their things now that if you're using, you know, enter a comment or reply or like, they're actually showing it to less people because they think it's unnatural. They're like, well, why would people, you know, why would you need to tell them to like and comment? If it was good, they would. So if you, just make sure you're not putting those in there, because Facebook will limit your reach of people. They don't like that. Along with the words MLM and network marketing. Those are, they don't. You can use home business, you can use entrepreneur, but they are the ones they're kind of like frowning upon. They're like, that doesn't seem that good. You shouldn't put that in there. We're getting hammered on the network marketing industry. They don't like us anymore.
It's because too many people are getting out of debt.
That's true. Very true. So, well, cool. You guys have any other questions on Facebook, Twitter stuff?
I have one. I have an old page from an old business. I'm not sure how to delete it.
Can you?
Yes. I have to think. I'm trying to go by memory here. I think if you go into settings on your Facebook pages, like it'll say, I think from either your home page, like your personal page, you can go into settings and there's a manage pages tab there, and there should be a delete, and I think it's on the left hand side when it pulls up that drop down menu. Okay. That should allow you to delete it. It's within the settings either on your fan page or inside your personal page. There's a manage pages tab in there.
Yeah, Kelly, you just have to scroll all the way down and it'll say, do you want to delete this page? And then it gives you 14 days. And then it'll say, are you sure? And then after 14 days, it'll delete. Now, Sean, do you suggest we delete our old pages or kind of try to convert people? Or?
You know, I have an old one from an old business, and it's such a different target market that I don't. It's still there. I haven't deleted it yet, just out of like laziness. It's just floating around with no activity whatsoever. I'm surprised they haven't deleted it. I don't know if it really matters. It's challenging to convert people over. You know, because if you post something on an old fan page where there was 0 engagement, you're not going to get, you know, I mean, you might be like, hey, come like my new page, but it's easier probably just to get new fans for your new page. I haven't really seen anyone be able to convert a lot of people over from their old pages.
Because I have one, and the only thing I didn't want to use it for is because of the name. So, because before it was Better Life Now, now I have Thrive. So, should I just stick with what I had?
Can you not change the name on them?
No.
I thought you could change it like once or twice.
Yeah, they don't let you anymore.
They don't, yeah, that's a bummer. I thought you could change them once. Yeah, then if you're not happy with the name, I wouldn't promote on it, or I wouldn't work with it. You know, I wouldn't deal with it.
It's not a company name. It's just I don't know. It's Better Life Now, and it's what I've always been, and I've been transitioning through the product side to the services side and the meditation. Everything's on there, so it's kind of like my whole target market is there. So I don't know if starting a new one is the best thing, or because I have one and it's got 50 likes, the other one has 1,200.
Yeah, that's a big difference. And you just don't want to use it because you're not happy with the name. Is it the name in the URL, or is it the name on the page, or is it both?
It's the page name and it's the URL. I mean, it doesn't bother me that much. I just kind of wanted to start something new, but maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know.
It depends. How did you get all your fans for the first one, the Better Life Now page?
Organically.
Okay, so it was organic through content or through friends or both?
Through content, through friends, just through everything. So I almost have 5,000 friends. So about 1,000 of my friends like my page. But now the interaction is going down. It's like it went from 40,000 of a reach to 40 to 4.
Right, yeah, it happens. It happens quickly, doesn't it?
I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if they're super targeted and you think that the name is going to be, an end-all kind of a deal, then I would, go with what you're happy with. If you could, I don't know if Facebook will let you change it if you sent in like a submit help report or something and say, hey, I have 1,200 fans. I would like to change this name. And that's one reason why we tell people to brand themselves as opposed to branding a company or a niche group or something like that, because we see this happen all the time. Someone's like branding themselves, and it's one thing to brand yourself, like Catherine Leo, and then underneath a Better Life Now as a tagline, because you can change taglines. But if you brand the page a Better Life Now or Lavelle or Weight Loss Today or something like that, and then you switch companies or your company goes out of business, or you're like, yeah, weight loss really isn't my life, I want to go to something different, now you got to start from scratch. So we tell everyone, we're like, brand yourself, make the page your name, and then you can tagline it whatever you want. Catherine Leo, 7 tips a day for better living, something like that. And then if
Life Now is not a company; it's just something that I made up. So it's not attached to any company per se. So maybe I'll just keep building on that because I already have it, and I'll do the blogs like you said, and try to get more interaction, see if I can revive it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and see, Better Life Now isn't bad because that's a more broad term. But we've seen people do similar things, like Better Life Now by losing weight, and then all of a sudden they go to something different besides weight loss, and they're trying to promote. It's just tough.
Yeah, so when I tried to change the name, Facebook gave me a slap on the hand, and it said you can't do that because it looks like you're trying to deceive your fans on what you're... Yeah, because it was like you're doing this, and now you want to change your name, so it's like your fans aren't going to know what you're doing, kind of. I don't know exactly what it said, but something about deceiving my fans.
Right, like, okay. And that's part of their new crackdown that they're doing. They're because you see a lot of people do that same stuff. They're changing names, and they get a group of fans that want weight loss, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, this is the gold and silver page now. And all of their fans were like, well, what happened to the weight loss page? I didn't like a gold page. But yeah, so for everyone that doesn't have a fan page yet, just make it your name, and then you can tagline it something different. And then you won't have a reason to change it because it's always you. And if you have a strong enough relationship with your fans, then you can really transition them from weight loss to, beauty to home business to whatever. They'll kind of follow you because they're like, oh, I love this person. They've helped me so much in my life. Wherever she's going, I'm going. And they'll kind of go with you.
Well, thank you very much. This definitely helped with understanding what's going on with the Facebook and the fan pages, and now I'm going to do a campaign. And I was like, I'm not paying. So now I realize I was like, I was so stubborn about it, but now I will. So thank you.
And honestly, I was the same way. I really was. I was like totally against paid marketing. Like I would just get in my car and I would drive to the mall and I'd go talk to people. And then I realized, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, this is retarded. And it wasn't until I met my buddy Vince, and he really opened my eyes through Ray and Mark Overson. They introduced me to Vince, and he kind of opened my eyes to it, and he's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you driving around places and, stumbling into network marketing or networking groups and all that? He goes, those work, but do you really want to do that forever? I'm like, no, not really. He goes, let me show you some stuff. And so he's the one who taught me all of this, and it's ridiculous how well it works. Because every day, like yesterday, I probably had 35 leads that I needed to reach out to and talk to, all wanting to, know what I was doing and know what I had going on. And just from similar stuff, now I'm here because of social media, the way I use social media. So it's cool. And it's inexpensive. You can do it for $5 or $6 a day. And you can have a light campaign going and be promoting your posts, and just be crushing it. At $3 to $4 a day, I get about 100 likes a week.
It's cheaper than running around with your gas.
Yeah, it takes me more time to walk to my car, drive to the mall. Like just that time, it's not worth it. $4 a day, I just business expense, and off I go. Because with 100 people, I just go and I find them on Facebook, and then I reach out to them. And I'm like, hey, what's up? You just liked my page.
I have to laugh because in the group, that's like the biggest thing is like people are like, get off the internet and go meet people. This is a relationship marketing business, and they're like, get off the computer, go out and say hello to people and talk to people, and you got to be talking to people, and it's how many people you talk to a day, and you're not doing anything behind a computer. So those are people probably, building a little bit slower, but
we're probably a balance of both.
They'll get it at some point, because they think, okay, you're sitting behind the computer and you're just making ads and you're just waiting for someone to show up, which is kind of true. You're waiting for someone to show up. But if you drive to the mall, you literally could go talk to 25 people and not one of them could be even the least bit interested in what you're doing. Even if you're really good at profiling people and be like, okay, this is the way they're dressed, this is the way they walk, this is the way they talk, they're probably a business professional. I studied all that stuff for so long. And
that's a yellow. I'm going to go get that yellow. I'm going to go teach them about oils.
Right. And I went out there and I talked to everybody. I would go talk to 20 to 30 people a day, like random people. And a couple things happened. And this is my theory behind it all. I would talk to every single person who would literally have a conversation with me. I would just build rapport, ask them questions, and I would have their phone number. My closure rate was like 99% to get their information. But the problem is here's someone who maybe is in their mid-30s, maybe they're mid-40s, maybe they're mid-50s, standing behind a counter somewhere, maybe they're not doing anything, and I'm handing them usually an opportunity on a silver platter. And what I noticed was if they wanted something more in life, if they wanted something better in life, they would have gone and done it already. But yet they're passive, just waiting. And so when I brought them into my business, because I sponsored a lot of people like that, they expected the work in the business to be handed on a silver platter, just like the opportunity was. That's when I started making my transition, because I got really good at cold market stuff, sponsored a ton of people, and couldn't duplicate because no one was willing to do what I was willing to do. This is simple. Yeah. This is so easy. Everyone's got Facebook. I could teach someone how to do a light campaign in less than 5 minutes, and at $3 a day, and then I can teach them how to write a handful of articles. And really, if they're in the same company as me, I'll write the article for you. Here, you just promote this to your page. When people like it, reach out to them, start a conversation. Here's your question and answer form. And so now, I mean, with this strategy, you can go to the mall and you can talk to 20 people who may not have anything to do with what you're doing, or you can sit behind your computer, and I wake up in the morning with 25 people to talk to who all reached out to me for a certain reason. They all want to know more about what I'm doing, my business, lead gen, something where I can profit. And the other cool part is they're action takers. Like, someone liked my page. They clicked the like button. That's a start. Or they direct messaged me. That's like a second start. And then if they're on my email list, like I had someone call me this morning saying, hey, Sean, I just joined your team. I'm like, cool, awesome, thanks. Where do I go from here? There's action takers. I mean, if they're willing to click the like button, opt into my page, sign up, do whatever, I can teach them how to build an empire if they're willing to do those steps. Where people, at the grocery stores and different places, I handed them the opportunity and they expected the work to be handed to them as well. And I could not duplicate to save my life, because they were like, I talked to 5 people, this is hard. Like, that's it? You talk to 5 people? That's not going to work at all. So this is much more duplicatable, and people that aren't online yet, they just don't get it. They think that you're just putting up like ads, and you just think that you're spamming people, because that's what they see. They don't see the personal relationships building just through a different avenue. I mean, this to me is a no-brainer. It is the absolute fastest, best way to build a business. Like, no questions asked.
I agree, and you're pretty much reaching the people that are, I don't know, that they can do it as well. Like, you're going to reach people that have a little bit more internet background, where if you're meeting them offline, you don't know if they can turn on a computer.
True.
And most people can't talk to other people. Like, they just can't talk to people. So it's tough to find somebody that's really friendly that will go to the park and meet the moms and that kind of stuff. But the internet, pretty much anybody can do if you meet them on the internet. If they already can turn on a computer, they can do it.
And this is what's great about this, is it never shuts off. I mean, at 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. is about all I could call, because I used to do a lot of cold calling and just a lot of chasing people. And at 8 p.m. I'm like, well, business is over for the day. Now, I mean, sometimes I'll go have fun all day long, and then around 8 p.m. I'll start working. I'm like, all right, I'll go to work now, put out tons of stuff, and I'll wake up in the morning with 50 new people to talk to, which you just can't do that any other place. And meeting people face to face is good, but I have stacks and stacks of business cards that I've collected from people reaching out to them. And the problem is they tell me no at one point, and that's fine, but for me to follow up with them, I have to call them back and kind of rebuild that rapport again. Where if they're just a like on my fan page or on my Twitter page, they're constantly seeing me. It's a reminder of, hey, here's a cool way to do this, or, oh, hey, here's 3 tips to do this, or, hey, here's 5 tips to do that. And they're constantly going, well, that's pretty good value. Oh, that's pretty good. And one day, it's going to hit them, and they're going to go, you know what, I think it's time we give Sean a call. Like, let's call him and see what he's got going on, whether it be with lead generation, to help build their company, because after a while they might go, no, I hate the internet. And they're going to go talk to everyone in the world, and they're going to be on the verge of quitting, and they're going to be like, you know what, we're still seeing Sean's stuff. Let's just call him and see what he does. And I didn't have to call them and be every 3 months and go, hey, do you remember me? Because you just can't hit those people. And then same with my business side of it. One day they're going to look and go, you know what, we could use some extra cash. Let's, Sean, he's always putting out good stuff. Let's read some more of his stuff and see what happens. It's just that constant, building of your image, and constantly building your rapport with them. And I mean, now with the internet, they're saying it's like 7 to 14 times for someone to see you before they actually do business with you. And it's probably not that different with the cold market. How can you really see someone 9 times? That's crazy time consuming. So I mean, the way social media is, all of it, Bing, Yahoo, social media, the cool thing about like Bing and Yahoo, for example, is these people are actually actively searching. I mean, there's someone right now probably Googling Lavelle to be like, is Lavelle a scam? Is Lavelle, is it, what's the reviews? Who's leading it? What's going on with that company? And if you put yourself in front of those people who are searching for it, because here's kind of how it plays out. Now I'm kind of going off in a different direction, but here's how it kind of plays out. Someone goes to, say, you're out and about talking to someone, and this happens a lot. The newer network marketer doesn't have the rapport or the skills or the posture to ask for their number. So they just slip them a business card and go, hey, check it out. This is a really cool company. You might love what we do. Hands them a Lavelle business card. And instead of calling them, they just go, oh, Google it. And now they're Googling Lavelle, looking into it, see if it's a scam or not, or reviews or products or whatever. So if you can put yourself in front of the people who are searching for that right now, bam, this person goes, Lavelle, it's a scam. And you're there going, hey, you may be looking to join Lavelle right now, but here's 3 things that you absolutely must know before you join, or you may be making a huge mistake. Throw in your name, email information. We'll see you on the next video. And they'll go to the next video, and you go, hey, look, first thing I want to tell you is Lavelle is a great company. But here's the 3 things you must know. Number 1, you can't rely just on friends and family to build a business. You have to be able to know how to put your products in front of other people. Number 2, this is how you create income, and this is how much money you can make in Lavelle. Number 3, if you want to join Lavelle and you want to do it the right way, here's how you do it, and this is why. These are my special bonuses because I teach lead gen and I help you with this, and I can teach you social media. And all business is a numbers game, and it's a game I know how to play better than anyone else. Check it out. Now you got people going, well, man, why am I going to call this person who just gave me a Lavelle business card when this person's right here telling me everything, and he's going to give me a step-by-step system? And then if you really want to get ninja, we have what we call like a retargeting pixel, and you can put that targeting pixel on that Bing advertisement. So if someone clicks on it but doesn't opt in, you target their computer, they're on Facebook, then you resend an ad to them specifically on Facebook going, hey, you're looking for a home business kind of a deal, and everywhere they go, your ad's following them around. So everywhere they go, oh my God, there's Sean. Oh my God, there's Sean. Oh my God, there's Sean. You know what? I'm just going to join him.
So those 7 to 10 exposures are you.
Exactly. So when they go to Twitter, they see me. When they go to Bing and Yahoo, they see me. When they go to, and you could do it like if you use things called AdRoll and Retargeter and those types of things, you can do it when they go to ESPN, there's your banner ad. You don't go to ESPN, but you use some of these other services, there they are. If they go to CBS, bam, there you are. If they go to, Good Morning America's website, you might be there too. Everywhere they go, you can be in front of them, and they're going, oh, you know what, Lavelle's where I want to be, and this person's clearly got it going on. I'm going to go with them. That's the power of the internet, really, because that happens everything.
Or they're new to the internet and they're going, oh my God, this guy's creepy. He's following me everywhere.
Yeah, if they're done right, they go, wow, this person's huge, because you see ads like for Geico and Tony Robbins and a lot of those people everywhere, and you're not like, oh my God, Tony's stalking me. There's just, oh wow, yeah, it's Tony Robbins. He's everywhere, of course. And pretty soon they do the same thing. They go, oh, it's Jennifer. She's everywhere. That's her. She's all over the place. So that's really the power of it. And you can really retarget, because it happens so much. If, say you talk to a friend's cousin, because they gave you a referral, and you talk to this friend's cousin like 3 times, and they're like, yeah, I don't really know, I'm not really sure, and you go, okay, and you throw their business card, you throw their number in a book that you may or may not follow up with in 3 to 6 months, and in 2.5 months, they might go, what was that thing's friend? Your cousin's friend, they were telling us about that company. Maybe we should look. What was that company? Oh, it was Lavelle. Yeah, what was that thing? I don't know. Let's Google it and find out. And then they look, and you're right there in front of them, and they're going to go, you know what? This looks awesome. And they sign up. I mean, you can get hundreds of targeted leads by that. And people go to meetings, or they go to this, or they go to that. and then they don't sign up, and then no one follows up with them, and then they're Googling it, and they sign up with whoever gives them the most information with the best chance to win. And then think, if you gave your whole team a system like that, how successful could you be? I mean, if you said, hey, look, guys, just set some stuff up like this, you and your team would be everywhere. And I mean, everyone that joined would be with you guys. So that's just an example of how you can use like Bing and Yahoo to really just absolutely crush it. And you put them right on your ad. I mean, you put them like, I mean, my stuff's all over Lavelle, sorry. but it's for lead gen, it's for lead generation and not for actually promoting the company. But I would put up an ad that just says Lavelle Truth, looking to join Lavelle, 3 things you must know so you don't fail. And then you can just go kill it. And then if you have
the price, you can pay for some of, put your ads on some of his stuff.
I don't use Google because Google is really expensive. I use Yahoo Bing, and you can get it down to like 20-30 cents a click. So my leads, I mean, my super targeted leads, where I might put up an ad saying, looking to join X company, here's 3 things you must know or you'll fail. Leads might be $2 to $3. But that person is like looking to join. They're like, okay, I'm looking to join. I don't know though. This is kind of sketchy. Maybe it's one of those pyramid things.
So you do lead generation for a lot of the different companies, like
well,
they come to you for lead generation.
Yeah. So I use a front end product. So this is my strategy. This is how I build my businesses. I like network marketers. Because they like network marketing and they're not like, it's a pyramid scheme. It's one of those crazy. I don't have to convince any of you that network marketing is awesome. I just need to find the people who maybe are unhappy with their company, maybe who are unhappy with their upline, maybe who are ready to transition companies. So I do a couple things. I promote on most every company. I'll promote lead generation, because one thing every network marketer in the world needs is more people to talk to, plain and simple. That's why we have such a huge failure rate, 97%. The reason we have that is because they don't have anyone to speak with. They get through their 20 warm market friends and they're like, I can't talk to the guy at the gas station. You're right, he probably wouldn't join anyway, so it's cool. So I teach lead gen, and so I have a front end product. So I'll get on the phone with people, and if they're happy, if they go, yeah, you know what, I'm stoked with my company, I'm happy, I just need some more people to talk to. I'm like, cool, here's what we teach. Here's our lead gen, here's our system, this is what we do, this is how it works. And those people may purchase a product up front. They might join, our full system where we do one-on-one personal coaching with them. We do training with them. We do, screen shares with them like this, a couple times a week, to really dive in deep to their business and just crush it. And some of those people I'll get on the phone with, and they're just like, I'm unhappy with my company. I don't like my downline. I don't like my upline. And I just ask them why. And then if my company fits, I'll bring them into my primary company, teach them all this stuff, and give them a system and setup to win. So I promote it that way. And then also on my primary company, you'll see me put up ads that say, looking to join so-and-so, 3 tips or you're going to fail. And then I'll bring them in that way as well. So because that's really, if you want to like just crush network marketing and online marketing, find a front-end product you can promote that everyone wants. I mean, there's 97 million network marketers in the world right now, and all of them could use more leads. So if you can make, $100 off of people for lead generation, now when you're talking to network marketers, they're either going to go, yes, I want to be in your business, or no, I'm happy where I'm at, I just need lead gen. Cool, here's what we can do for lead gen. I might teach something like this and go, hey, if you really want to dive deep in it, get a hold of me, I'll show you what we really do. And it'll blow your mind, and you'll just crush the lead gen for sure. So then you can offer it to both, because really in the online world, you guys have probably seen this, when you go and talk to individuals about your company, about your business, it's like a 3% sign up rate. You talk to 100, you might get 3 or 4 that actually sign up with you. The other 96 or 97 are like, nah, I don't want anything to do with that, I'm happy. But one thing that they do want is lead gen. So now you can actually profit from both people. You can profit off people who are happy in their company, but they need help. And then you can profit off the people who really are looking for a different upline or a different downline or a different sideline or a different whatever or a different company, and they'll join you there. So promote lead gen on the front end, promote your company on the back end. So that's how I do it, and I have a huge list of network marketers, and you just keep promoting to them, lead gen and different things until finally they go, you know what, if I was on Sean's team, I would win. Or if I was in a different company, I would win. Because most people have been in a different company, and mostly it's because their upline didn't teach them how to generate leads. Some people are unhappy.
So you don't like sell leads or anything, like sell them like like for Lavelle,
No, I don't sell leads. We teach them how to do it the right way. And this is why, because people will purchase leads, and I've done that. I purchased leads, called them all, signed some people up, and that's worked. But then something changes, and you're like, well, what happened? So we really teach people how to generate their own leads, so then they can teach their downline how to generate leads, and they can give their team a full system going, hey, look, this is our strategy. And we create it like a job. Everyone's been to a job interview where someone comes in, explains, okay, hey, this is the company, this is who I am, and then someone else comes in and goes, hey, if you really want to crush it, this is what you got to do. So we lay it out like that for people. We bring them in, like into my company, I go, cool, this is what you have to do. You're on my team, this is what we do. You're going to do this, this, and this with Facebook. You're going to do this, this, and this with Craigslist. Ready, set, go. If you do these things, you're going to be signing up 5 to 10 people a month minimum, and this is the kind of money you're going to make. And they go, awesome, I can do that. I'm like, great, then you can be on my team. If you can't do that, and you're just like going to go to friends and family, and we promote to friends and family, we do. That's something we do. We just don't rely solely on that, because if you're relying on your 50 friends and family, the chances of having a huge business are pretty slim. So we don't sell leads. We teach people how to do them the right way. So that way when things change, they always know how to generate leads. And the way we teach it, it wouldn't matter if you were in network marketing, if you were in the cement business, if you were in the real estate business, if you had any sort of home business or brick and mortar business or, anything, you could generate leads and build a business using this. So that's how we really teach it, just to really give your whole team a system on how to do it. And the one thing about purchasing leads, it's weird, but a lot of the companies are so bad now, and the reason being is if you go on to, say, like Target.com and you buy something from Target, in the checkout form at the very, very bottom in little tiny small letters, it says, uncheck this box it's an automatically checked box, and it'll say something like, if you're interested in a home business, we can send you additional information. And the box is tiny and it's already checked, and unless the person physically unchecks that box, they're now a lead for home business people like us, and then we buy leads from some company at 50 cents a piece or $1 a piece or something like that, and then you're calling them all and they're like, how did you get my number? Well, you clearly bought something from Target in the last 6 months. And a lot of companies are doing that now. And so when you're paying $1 to $2 a lead, that way for what you think may be really targeted. I've had my lead gen down to, from Bing and Yahoo, I've had leads down to like $1 a piece for people who are like, I want to join. So if you can teach that kind of targeted lead gen, and then the cool part is you can retarget them. So if someone clicks on Bing and Yahoo or Facebook or anywhere and they don't actually opt in, you can reposition yourself in front of them using a retargeting pixel, which you can't do buying leads from somewhere else. So you can just create such a targeted fan group using online strategies like this. That, because I used to buy tons of leads because I got tired of going to the mall, and my success at the mall wasn't that good. So that's how we do it. It's just something that we teach people how to do.
All right, very cool. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a quick one. So Sean, you would be teaching, so say like myself, and then I teach my team, or you teach us all together?
We teach you, and then you'll teach your team. So it's actually, our program works. Do you know who Vince Reed is? Okay, Vince actually owns a company, and it's an entirely lead gen company. So he actually is what my front end product is. So how it works is he taught us a funnel and actually promoted. He signed up 1,290 people using a funnel in 6 months. Him personally enrolled 1,200 people doing these types of strategies. More than that, I mean, he's built businesses in 20 to 30,000 downline type of businesses, and so now he solely does lead gen. And so our program, what we do, I shouldn't say ours, his program is Tuesday he does a mastermind with everybody. Thursday he does a screen share like this. And so if you said, hey Vince, I want to work with you, he'd be like, okay, cool. He would do a screen share with you. He would look at each one of your ads. He would look at your campaigns. He would look at your funnel. He would look at everything and make sure that it's tweaked and targeted correctly to be spot on for your audience. And so people who are on my team outside of Tuesdays and Thursdays, then I help them do the same thing. So like I taught probably like 25 minutes last night on Vince's webinar on Thursday of the Facebook stuff. Like, hey, look, here's a step-by-step process of what I've been doing to get to just crushing it. So it's Vince's program, and then it's my team inside of his program. And we would do stuff like I do it for my team. If they want me to do like, hey, can you do a quick screen share with me and my team on some of these strategies? If they're on my MITS team, I'll be like, yeah, cool. Let me just throw together a go-to meeting real quick, and here we go. And then I also do webinars for my specific team individually, group webinars to teach them specific stuff. And that way, if they have questions, they're not getting stuck. Because, one thing that Vince, why he put this program together, and I kind of piggybacked off what he does, is everyone's bought in products. They get halfway through, and then they get stuck. And then they're like, well, now what? And then you find yourself not doing the product, being in the same place you were the first time, just a little bit less money in your wallet. Or you end up going to buy another product to learn how to work the first product. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Like, bought a product only to get halfway through and go, well, I don't know how to do that. I got to buy something else now. This is lame. So we put all this personal coaching in so that way people don't get stuck. When you go to set up your ads and things like that, if you get stuck, you go, hey, Vince, help me. And he'll screen share with you and go, okay, adjust this, tweak that, look at this again, fix that. Okay, here's your market. Okay, go. And then I do the same thing with my team. I'm very personal with them on the phone, on screen shares like this, so that way they don't get stuck with what they're doing, because that's like the most frustrating thing in the world. Like,
yeah, because I bought Priceless Possibilities, and it was like nobody helped you with anything. It was just like, got to do this, and then it was like, okay, well, how? And they talk to you like you should know, and it was like, but we're starting from scratch here, and it's supposed to take you every step of the way. And I spent a lot of money on all these programs. That's why I kind of shied away from it, because I got frustrated. I'm like, I don't have the time to learn this over and over and over again. Someone's going to take me step by step and show me I can do it. I just need to be taught once. I don't need to be taught 30 times, just once. But they would take you to a certain way, and then, like you said, they just leave you hanging. Oh, you want more? You got to buy more. It's like, I already bought the program. Like,
right.
take me all the way through, damn it.
And that is exactly why he did what he did, and that's exactly why I teach my team the way I do, because I've done the same thing. I've spent thousands of dollars, doing different trainings only to get 3/4 of the way and be stuck. And I'm like, what? Well, now what? Who do I call? Well, who do I talk to? And you're like stalking down who wrote the product on Facebook, trying to, strangle them, going, help me. So we wanted to add that personal touch, like, hey, here. And then every time you up your game, we up ours. So for example, like if you did, a basic light campaign, and got to a certain point where you're getting good traction and good stuff, we'd be like, okay, well, add this in there, and this will help you do this type of stuff. And you're like, cool. So it's not all this stuff all at once. It's a little bit at a time. So, hey, here's a like campaign. Cool. Here's a fan page campaign. Cool. All right, well, let's add retargeting on there. We're going to retarget both of those. And then we're going to do another campaign to those people who have either hit your website, hit your fan page, hit whatever, and we're going to do this type of campaign to them who haven't purchased. And then we'll add that layer on. And then, we'll add on another layer. And then pretty soon it'll just be easy, as opposed to sitting there going, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. Like, retarget what? Like, campaign where? I'm confused, I'm lost, I'm stuck, and then you get overwhelmed, you get frustrated, you throw your computer in the trash, and you quit. That's what we didn't want. We wanted people.
Dancing, right? You teach a step, then you know that steps, and then you put it together. No, that's what I need, because it's like all of a sudden they're throwing everything at you. It's like, but I didn't even get the first step yet, and they're already moving on, and they don't care because you've paid your money and you're paying every month. So it's like they know they got you, and it's like, hey, I'm just going to quit this. And then you feel like a quitter, and then you feel like crap, something else that didn't work. But I know it works for others, so it's like, why am I not getting it?
Been there, done that. I've paid for monthly programs and done the same stuff. I'm like, at some point it's got to work, and 8 months later, I'm like, it hasn't worked. Why isn't it working? I'm like, it's still not working. Maybe it's me. What's wrong with me?
So is yours a monthly, or is it a one lump sum, or how does
ours is a monthly. So we have an entry level, which is more of an application process for us. We teach a ton of stuff, but it's an application process because we want to make sure that we and you are a good fit. We don't want people who get in going, yeah, well, what do you mean? You just, because I had a few people jump in the application stuff, and they're like, well, you just give me all my leads, don't you? And then you follow up with them. No, that's not how this works. So then we do a monthly, and what our monthly includes is Tuesday you do a mastermind with Vince himself, and sometimes the mastermind will just be him and us, and it's just like this. It's just us asking questions like, how did you hit multiple 7 figures kind of a deal? Hey, how did I do this? And I've asked him everything from targeted ad copy to how to resurrect a certain list that wasn't responsive to Facebook to Bing to whatever. Like, his realm of expertise is huge. It's awesome. So, or he'll do masterminds. Like last week we had Lisa Grossman and Curtis Broom on, and we just got to fire questions at them on how to build a business. We got to ask questions. Mark Hoverson was on one. Ray Higdon was on one. So he'll bring out masterminds as every Tuesday live with him. And then every Thursday we do screen shares like this. So what's cool is you can have your ads looked at, and a lot of times people learn more from watching others. So, Catherine, if you did like a screen share with him, someone might be sitting back watching what you do on Facebook, and then it might go click, and then might go, oh, that's what I was doing wrong. Or, oh, that's a good idea. That's cool. So it's cool to see people's ads and the process they're taking them through, but Vince scrutinizes everybody's. Every week you can say, hey, work with me, hey, work with me, hey, work with me, and he'll dive into your ads and make sure that you're doing them correctly. And then at level 1, it's 3 levels is how our program works. So level 1, you get a coaching call. Level 2, you get a coaching call. And then if you're putting in the work, then you really have a personal coach. Like, I have a personal coach with the MITS team, and I reach out to him almost every day on Facebook. I'm like, hey, dude, what about this? And it's like crazy technical stuff, and he's like, I don't know, like, let me ask. So it's just stuff I get hung up on, because I'm trying to like push the limits of how big I can make it. And they'll get their guys on the phone and say, hey, Sean's asking this question. How do we do this with that page? And then it's cool because I've asked for certain things. Like we have an entire capture page system, like the MITS Pages system, and I do training for all of my MITS Pages members as well, which is free. But like I asked them, I said, hey, can you put phone numbers on this page? And they're like, yeah, give us like a week. And they put phone numbers on every one of the lead pages because I asked them, I'm like, hey, help me out. Like, I want phone numbers. I want the option for that. So it's very cool that they do that. They're very customizable. And then every Wednesday, Vince does a webinar that costs most people outside of MITS level 2, $37 to $47, and it's all included in MITS level 1. So last week we did a webinar with John Lee Dumas, and he's the #1 podcaster in the world, and that was included. And then the week before, he did one on retargeting, strictly retargeting, all the different ways to use retargeting in your campaigns. And then the week before that, he did one on his mastery funnel, where he literally taught us the exact funnel that he recruited almost 1,300 people within 6 months. So he does those almost every Wednesday or every other Wednesday. And then, so that's what Vince provides. And then everyone on my team, I provide pretty much the most personal coaching. I tell everyone my level 2 stuff, I give them lifetime coaching as long as they're in MITS promoting their businesses. And that's, you know, stuff like this. It's on the phone, it's text messages, it's emails, it's my notes, it's my webinars, it's all my stuff to make sure people are on point, you know, and actually successful, not being stuck, because I was stuck for like a long time. So here's a question: can networks be successful without lead generation, or do they keep it to them? Oh, I missed it. It disappeared. What was that question, Kelly?
I'll unmute myself here. So I haven't really heard of a lot of people doing lead generation in my company, I guess, so far. And I've tried it. I think I've done it one other time. Got some good advice, and then it was like, unfriended me on Facebook, see you later, disappeared. So does everybody do this? And it's maybe like an unspoken thing? Have I just not heard of it too much?
Most of the top earners do some sort of lead generation.
Okay.
There's some guys that I know some earners that have never really touched the internet. They're just old school marketer guys, and they just go out and crush it. Todd Falcone is an example of one of those. He just buys a ton of leads, and he's dynamic and awesome on the phone, and he'll make you want to sign up like just from his phone calls. And that was his style. Most people can't do what Todd does. We have some top earners in our company who've never really touched the internet. They just went out and they just hustled. They just straight up like talked to everyone they met, and you know, when they got someone signed up, they were like, put me in front of 20 of your best people, and they were just hardcore about it. And that works. Most of them do some sort of lead generation. You know, the Ray Higdons, the Vince Reeds, the Mark Hoversons, the Jonathan Budds, the Eric Worreys. Eric Worre used lead gen a little different. He used lead gen a lot using books. You know, his book GoPro was a huge lead gen for him. So everyone uses something to generate leads. And you're seeing more and more people, even the old school guys, come onto Facebook. Like you're seeing Eric Worre start to do even more Facebook stuff and more lead gen stuff. So, and yeah, Jennifer's right. You know, it's just another tool to build your business. It really is. But I mean, it's critical. The numbers come down to this. Like Mark Yarnell, I'm not sure if you read this book, A First Year Network Marketing. He straight up said, if you want to make $1 million in your company, you need to talk to 30 people every single day, 6 days a week for 12 months. If you can talk to 30 people every day, 6 days a week for 12 months, you'll be making $100,000 a month. You'll have 12 leaders, 6 of them will do X, you know, 3 of them will do X, and 2 of them will be why you're a millionaire. And if you want to do it in 3 years, you can talk to 20 people a month, or 20 people a day. If you want to do it in 5 years, you can talk to 10 people a day. After that, the law of diminishing return comes into play, and you're going to kind of have this roller coaster, and you may never hit the $1 million a year mark. And so the question really is that I ask almost everyone, you know, even my own team, because they're like, well, I don't really want to do anything online. And I go, that's cool. But do you want to make network marketing a full-time job, full-time career? And if their answer is yes, like yours is, it's, do you have enough people to talk to 10 to 20 people every day? And Jennifer's right. It's a numbers game, straight up. So if you have enough people to talk to 10 to 20 every day, you're good. But what happens in network marketing is you take your warm market, you maybe go sponsor 4 or 5 people, and then you start to get a little bit desperate because you run out of your warm market, and you're like, all right, well, I got to make these 5 people do it. And so then you're like chasing these 5, and you're like, why aren't you telling your friends? Why aren't you doing this? Like, come on, let's go to work. And they're like, well, I'm not really sure, and their expectations were never the same as yours. And then you look at your list again, and you're like, well, here's my list. Well, I still got like 50 people there. I'm going to call these 50 people again. And then you're like, hey, why aren't you doing this? Come on, you need to do this. Don't you see this? Come on, what are you doing? Like, let's do this. And it's all because they don't have enough people to talk to. And then people get to a point, and they're like, I'm not comfortable going out in the world. I'm not comfortable going to the mall. I'm not good at just cold calling real estate agents. I'm not good at cold calling car dealers. And then they just go, I guess this just wasn't for me. I'm not good at it. I quit. You know, so lead gen is, I mean, it is the lifeblood. No matter how you do it, it has to be done some way. You know, either social media, being Yahoo, the internet, you know, cold calls, going to the mall, going to networking groups, going to meetup.com groups. It has to be somewhere to where you're interacting with people like at a high flow, because it is really a numbers game.
It's like similar to like, you know, a heavy person going on a diet. There's so many different diets out there. They work for, you know, all the diets work if you work them. And the same thing with network marketing. There's so many different ways that you can do it, and there's no right way. There's no way that, you know, it's going to be better for you. I mean, it's really what your personality is, how much time you want to put into it, what do you want to do with your time. I mean, there's people that build their network marketing fine face-to-face and talk to 1 million people. I personally, I shared my story in the group. There was a time in 2005 that I was like, my ex-husband walked out. I was pregnant with my 4th kid. I was like, sink or swim, I'm going to do this. I'm going to stay home because my daughter was upset. You know, I was in IT. I was building a nice career in IT. I was making decent money and could have supported us, but my daughter did not want me to leave the house. So I turned to network marketing. And Danny Johnson was huge at that time. I mean, she was so much younger at that time, and she really pushed getting on the phone and calling. So I literally would pick up the phone from early in the morning, working through crying kids, you know, everything. I mean, I had everybody with me, you know, the only time I left the house was to bring them back and forth to preschool and stuff. And I used the phone, and I built my, you know, entire business through the phone. But I called from morning till night. Like, you know, I would get up early and do what I had to do with the kids and get that set so that, you know, my best time to call would be at like noon Eastern until like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and I wouldn't go past that. And I would, you know, it was the whole thing. But I was making about $8,000 a month, and then unfortunately I made a stupid marketing move because I was dealing with a lot of network marketers. Big Al came out with this brand new company, and we all jumped to that new company. The company I was in was like $39.95 a month, and then we were like paying $450 a month, and it took a few months to fill our garage with product and you know, lose everything. But some of those people succeeded. You know, they went door to door. They spoke to people. They, you know, you couldn't do it over the phone. It was just not. It wasn't a product that you could sell over the phone unless you were calling just network marketers, which again is possible. So some people did fine with it. I was just so burnt out, and I left it. But you can build your network marketing business through the phone. People will tell you, like in the group, oh no, you can't do that, don't call people, oh there's the no call list and all that stuff. There's all different things that you can do on the phone, and it is very successful. You can build it on the internet. Internet is huge. I mean, because when you're calling on the phone, I would call 200 people a day easily. I would leave messages, my phone would be ringing back while I was on the phone, you know, I was constantly on the phone. You could call 200 people, 300 people, depending upon how fast you are, what kind of message you're leaving. So you can reach more people than you can, like he said, going into a mall and speaking to people. You could definitely reach more on the phone. But then you go into the internet, and it's like, right now, it's huge. Back in 2005, it wasn't so big. I mean, it was big, you know, internet was big. That's how I found out about it. But, you know, it's not as big as it is right now. Like, here I am in a third world country. Could I market to these people, you know, through the internet? Probably not. You know, nothing is on the internet. You know, in New York, you can buy whatever you want and have it come to your door. You can buy food. You can buy, you know, whatever. here, I think I make a good business. I always say to my kids, I should be out there marketing like some kind of internet business to these people. Like, here, you can, buy from the local deli online. Like, they would think it's so cool. Meanwhile, we do it back in New York. Like that's where the internet is here in this country. But right now, in the U.S., in Europe and Canada, all over, the internet is huge. So like, you can reach more than 300 people a day. You could reach millions probably, right? I mean, so many people that you can reach with the internet. So it's just like a bigger platform. But you have people that don't want to put the time in to do it. They don't want to set it up. They don't have any technical knowledge. They don't have patience for it. They can outsource it, but they don't know that they can outsource it. They don't know that, what their level of things are. And I think a lot of the top earners do probably outsource it that don't have the technical. I mean, I don't know. In my company, there's a lot of people up at the top that have like no technical, background whatsoever. And I'm sure that they outsource it, and I know that they do it. And I've actually heard people from our company. Our company's 20 years old. They started with a cell phone, and that's how they started their business. And they were talking about how they used to have forwarding the phone numbers so that when they would put an ad out, it would go to all their different people on their team. And now they do it online, and like they talk about it like it's this like really cool thing, and I'm like, wow, you've upgraded. But there's so many ways to do your network marketing business. There's email marketing, there's the Facebook, and then if you throw them all in together, forget it. There's so many ways. Do you agree with that, Sean?
Yeah, oh yeah, dude, 100%. And she's spot on with what she's talking about, because it is numbers. And in her 200 people that she called every day, a lot of them were probably people who didn't really have any interest in what she was doing. She was just running through the numbers. The cool part about doing things on the internet the way we do it now is we separate all the people who want nothing to do with us. And we talk to, because out of the 200, she probably got, her closure rate, people who wanted to talk to her about what she was doing was probably like 20%. Is that pretty accurate, Jennifer?
Yeah, I would get like maybe 2 to 3 people a day.
Okay, so 2 to 3, even less. Okay, wow.
Yeah,
so even,
I would get 2 or 3 people a day, and maybe 1 to 2 builders a week.
Okay. So, she's talking out of 200 people, she's probably showing the information 20 times, and out of those 20 times, she's getting 2 to 3 people sign up, and then out of, those 15 to 20 people a week, she's getting 2 to 3 people who really want to do it. The cool thing about the internet is you kind of weave your way through that, and you get rid of the tire kickers early on. And then when you're on the phone with people, you might only talk to 10 people a day on the phone, but if you're on the phone with them, they're serious. Because they've taken action, they know kind of what you got going on, they're looking for something specific in their life, and it's a huge time saver. So, imagine every morning if you woke up with 20 people between Facebook and Twitter, and you just go and you start direct messaging the people on Facebook and on Twitter, and then your first email that goes out to all of them is, hey, give me a call, and then your phone rings 3 or 4 times. Like, down to what took her all day long to call 200 people to find those right 20, you've done through automation, and now you're on the phone with 20 people going, hey, here's my company. Nope, not for you, cool. And then you just go call the other ones. So that's what's really cool, is it's just automated all of that stuff. If you do it right. If you do it wrong, people are going to do, ads and things, and they're going to spam their link places, and they go, well, this doesn't work. This is dumb. But if you do it right, you're on the phone with people, you're on Hangouts like this, you're on webinars, you're on different places, and people are like, please give me what you have. I want what you have.
I guess everything they've taught us is just like from their personal Facebook page, 3-way calls, and doing your own team conference calls. Not necessarily a fan page and leads like this, I guess.
What your company's taught you? Say that again.
Yeah. And like my uplines and leaders and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. This is me personally. I'm not a huge fan of 3-way calls. I think it's uncomfortable.
It's intimidating.
Right. So it's uncomfortable for the person you're calling. It's kind of like this secretive, like you're kind of ambushing them with this third party. I mean, there's a right way to do three-way calls, but most people don't do them right, and it just is this weird, like thing, and most people won't do it. It's like not duplicatable, right? They're like, I ain't doing that. I ain't putting you on the phone with one of my friends.
Because you have to
You're
be
like,
this
well,
expert.
right. So, that's a tough way to do it. So a lot of times I don't really do three-way calls unless they absolutely need it. Then I'll play dumb and I'm like, that's a good question. I'm like, you know what? Let me see if I can grab my buddy, Vince for a second. Like, he can answer these questions. He's super busy. Like, I don't even know if we can grab him, but let's just call him real quick, ask him this one question, then hang up. That's it. Like, one question. That's all you're going to get from this dude, one question. And then they're like, okay, cool, let's ask him. That works pretty well, but traditionally, the way a lot of people do three-way calls is it's tough because it's
and to work everyone's schedule.
Right. So I mean, I don't really do a lot of those. Like, I bring people through a funnel, and it kind of separates the tire kickers, so they know that it's a certain type of company. They know that there's an investment. They know kind of what their role would be inside of our company. And then when they get to there, it's, hey, let's talk and see if we're a fit for you. And there really isn't a question like, and one other thing that I'm not a huge fan of with three-way calls, and it's fine with close friends, but for me, like, I'm kind of a type A red personality person. And so if you and I were talking, and in our company, we call it sharks and minnows, or guppies and sharks. And it's a rarity that you get a guppy to sign up a shark, because we're like, let's go. And, the guppy's like, well, let's just slow down, and they're more yellow type people, which is awesome because they're like, let's help each other. Let's make this thing happen. So you're very yellow, which is totally fine. We have yellows that absolutely kill it in our company. But for a lot of people, like, if someone goes, well, you know what, I'm not really sure how this all works. Like, I'm not totally sure. Like, let me put you on the phone with one of my friends, or with one of my leaders, or one of my mentors. I'd be like, well, why am I working with you? I'm the type to be like, well, put me in touch with the dude at the very top, and let's go crush this thing. Like, I'll just sign up with him. So, and it goes back and forth. It depends on who you're talking to, and you can set it up right. I mean, it's just three-way calls I haven't been a huge fan of. I know they work. They do. I mean, you can sponsor a ton of people if you do three-way calls correctly. But with this, I haven't really had to have three-way calls. When people get through the funnel, when someone sees something online, they're like, oh man, this person's like, psh. If they see you on a video, like, it's funny because I have so many videos out there. They get on the phone with me and they're like, you're the guy from the video. I'm like, yes, I am the guy from the video. They're like, I can't believe you called me. You're on the phone with me. I mean, there is no like validation needed. The internet did it for me. They're like, if they're on the phone with me, it's because they look at me as like a mentor, coach, trainer, and they're like, oh my God, you're him. I'm like, well, I don't know if I go that far, but yeah, that was me on the video. So I haven't really had to have that. And it's weird because when you read an article, you're like Oprah. When I read an article, I'm the same way. Like, think about an author. When you read a book, you're like, oh my God, it's this author. You put him on like a pedestal. So it's the same way when you're starting to do stuff online. Like, if you had a huge fan base and you had some articles out there, you'd be like, they would read the article and be like, oh my gosh, like, that's amazing. So, that's how we really use social media. I mean, if you needed a three-way call on occasions, you could easily put them on the phone with one. And here's one way that we've set three-way calls up really well. Sometimes if I was like more cold call style, and Catherine brought up a good point, she does them for welcome calls. That's a great idea. Once you sponsor someone, bring your upline in so that way they know they have more support than just you. It's huge. One way we've set up three-way calls, and this has worked pretty well, when we've gone out recruiting, like, and I'll go out just recruiting. I'll take my team and I'm like, let's go cold market recruiting for today. It's kind of fun. Here is a cool way you can do it. When I ask people if they're open to doing something outside of what they're currently doing, and I have like all sorts of different ways I approach people, but I sometimes play like the true recruiter. And I'm like, hey, look, I'm not the main guy for this, It's actually a guy I work with. He's kind of the deciding factor on whether you would be a good fit for our company or not. Let me grab your info. I'll put you in touch with them. Can't promise you anything, but you guys can connect. I'll just be the mediator. You guys connect, and you can see, he can see, and you can kind of interview with him and see if this will be a good fit for you or not. Now it helps because when you call them, you're not sitting there going, and your boyfriend or husband or whoever is not like, who's that? And you're like, it's some dude that wants to like put me in a company. Instead, you'd be like, oh, you know what? It's this guy I met, and he actually is going to put me in touch with this higher up CEO, manager guy. I'm not really sure what he is, but they do some hiring for a recruiting position, and so he's going to connect me with this other guy. I don't know, it might be pretty cool. Now there's like no weirdness. Now the three-way call is actually a true three-way call, and you're like, hey, look, this is the person I told you I'd get involved with, check it out. And then they can just have their conversation. So that's a way we've done it, and it's worked pretty well in the past. The one downfall, and this may be just me looking at it, I look at it, I'm like, well, that's kind of deceitful. Because, I'm the team leader technically, unless I'm like removing all position of authority. And then when say you got involved, you might be like, well, what? I thought I was working with him. Like, well, you are, but you're working with both of us, and it's, I don't know, sometimes it's weird. Yeah, Catherine said, once they get in, they don't mind. And it's true. Once they get in, they go, oh, I see why you do it. It's a subconscious thing. So that's a cool way you can do it, for three-way calls and that kind of thing. So they become one of us.
Okay.
So that's one way you can do three-way calls. But again, like if you start positioning yourself in the online world, literally think about this. If you go and you Google something and you click on an ad and you see something, do you really ever question it? Sometimes the content, but you really don't question who's writing it. You may agree with the article, you may disagree with the article, but you're usually like, huh.
It's real.
Yep. It's got to be real. It's on the internet. And it was like on the front page of Google. Like I typed in Lavelle, and this was the first thing that came up. That's got to be like corporate office or something. Is this like the owner? That's how they look at it. They're like, you were right next to the CEO. Do you own the company? I've literally gotten that. I can't, like, they've clicked on my stuff, and they're like, so you like started this company? You like part owner? I'm like, no, but thanks. Jennifer, was that for product and business? Was that your question?
Yeah, I'm just curious, for your lead generation that you do, you can pretty much target people that would buy your product or also people that would be interested in business?
Oh, yeah, 100%. So, there's keywords out there. So since we were talking about Bing Yahoo, I'll just stay on that one. When you talk about Bing and Yahoo, this is how I would do it, and this is how I do it. This is one of the most awesome ways you can possibly do it. Is when you go, if I were marketing Lavelle, first thing I would do is I would go and I would put up an ad on Bing and Yahoo under Lavelle Scam, Lavelle Review, Lavelle Leaders, Lavelle Training, Lavelle everything that someone might search. And I would go, looking to join Lavelle, 3 ways or 3 things you must know or you'll fail. And you're going to get people who are already in Lavelle, which is fine, because you can, if you have a front-end product, you can offer them that. And if they're not in Lavelle and they're looking to join it, now you're an authority figure and you're going, boom, here you go, let's rock and roll. So that's one way. And then you were talking about they have weight loss, they have like healthy organic vitamins. I would target those people next. So if it were weight loss, again, I wouldn't just do generic and go like, hey, health and wellness. I would literally go, yeah, exactly, keywords like obesity, like severe obesity, and I might put an ad up going, God, it could be, you could do so much with it. It could be something like struggling with weight, and they could be like, is the extra weight you're carrying blowing out your knees? And then it might be like, your ad copy might be in there something like, the extra weight you're carrying may be blowing out your knees. If you want to walk past the age of 50, this can save your life, or this can keep you walking. This can keep you out of the wheelchair. And then you really target down to like that market, and they're like, ooh, or if it's something good with diabetes, again, like, because someone probably is searching right now as we speak, how to cure diabetes, natural remedy for diabetes, like what is diabetes, like help me, I have diabetes. And so you can go, struggling with diabetes, on the verge of diabetes, type A, type whatever, this may save your life. Then it can go straight to, an article about diabetes and then send them to a product page. So that's one way. I mean, and you can go into all different keywords for each specific product. And then for home businesses, you have to be a little bit careful because home business is more of a shopping keyword, as we call it. And people are just curious. They're like, what's a home business? How does a home business work? They're not really like ready to join one. They're just curious about them. So, but you can find specific keywords, about making money online or finding a home business or something like that. I mean, it's literally searched like those keywords. I put it up in a webinar a couple weeks ago. It's searched like 100,000 times a day, really, on multiple keywords. It's clicked like 40 to 50,000 times a month. Yours is a free startup. Lavelle's a free startup. It is. So you could do it on Craigslist. You could crush it on Craigslist. I have some friends. I have some friends that use Craigslist, and same with Bing and Yahoo. These guys use a couple different tactics with a free startup, to where they put in their name, put in their email for a free startup, and here's how they did it though. So they had a system similar to kind of what we're talking about, like, and you would kind of put the system together once you learned all of it, what works specifically for Lavelle. And then what you would do is go, hey, join with me. It's a free startup, and here is the step-by-step system. And you would have videos, and you would literally have a step-by-step system to where they could get in and start creating income and generating leads using all these different strategies, as opposed to going, hey, join with me, and let's call your friends.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, hey, join with me. This is what you have to do step by step. This is how you're going to start making money step by step. And they're going to go, okay, I can do that. Yeah, these guys did 7 figures doing that same thing with a free startup, which is crazy. So Jennifer, does that help you with your question there? Business and marketing.
Question, if you don't mind. How long does
Sure.
it take usually to set up everything that you use for lead gen? Like how much time do you think everybody needs, a day or per week or before they start seeing it?
Honestly, I hadn't done a lot of this really. I'd done blogging, I had done some other things, but when I jumped in with Vince, I did literally a couple of his trainings, and the first day I was making sales. I mean, it took me just a couple hours, and I was using Bing and Yahoo to do that kind of stuff. And I mean, on average now, I mean, gosh, I don't even know. I'm probably generating like 1,000 leads a month. I mean, it's crazy, like how much comes in between Twitter, Facebook, and my email stuff. So it depends on where you want to go.
How long did you work, like in the beginning?
It depends on how much you want to do. I mean, you can set up a Bing Yahoo ad. Gosh, I mean, if you go through the program, you could probably, once you learn how to do it, if I use the MITS page system I was showing you guys, and I use that for my lead capture page, and then I'll do a Bing ad, I can have a Bing ad set up, not including the video, because I'll sometimes shoot my own videos. Outside of the video that I shoot, it might take me 15 minutes, maybe, to set it up. So first time, it might take you an hour or so, to get kind of through it and get it set up, just so that way you make it simple. Catherine, it is user friendly. I mean, literally, I'd never really done ads before, ever, with anything, until I started doing this style of advertising, and I just jumped in, and with Vince's help, like in my uplines, like one of my buddies is the one who showed me this whole system, and it was like simple. Like I just kind of jumped in, and I'm like, well, that's easy. And then what's so cool is if you have questions about it, on Thursday you go, Vince, help me, and he goes, okay, and he screen shares with you, and then you guys kind of dive in, and he goes, check your keywords, okay, what's the process? And the cool thing, what he really does is he gets you thinking like a marketer. So that way, there is no questions like who you should target. You'll be sitting around one day just because he's got you thinking this way, and you're like, oh man, I got this product and I could target this person, and this person, and this is kind of the funnel I would take them through, and I would click on that. And you just start thinking in a different fashion because the way, our program works and the way he teaches. So you could target, any product, any business, any way, shape, or form. You can get them, with a free sign up. Man, I would just shoot for like automatic signups. I could put together a system of way we do things. And as soon as you get one sign up, that system works. So then you go, here's our system. This works. It works once, it's got to work again. Here it is. And then you just give them that system, and then you work out some other ones, and then you just send people through with a free sign up. Like another guy who's working with us, he has a company with a free sign up, and then so they sign up for free, and then there's a product, like a $20 product or something, and then you can be like a full member. He gets signups like every day using what we do, because he doesn't have to really talk to him, because people are like, oh, it's free. It's different when you're trying to promote something that's $500, $600, $700 to really. You have to talk to them more personally. Like, not a lot of people will pull the trigger on $500 unless they're like really talking to someone. But it's super user friendly. And if you want to set up social media like Facebook the way I have it set up, literally in like 2 or 3 hours you could have it kind of all set up, and then it just takes tweaking. Like mine are set up right now, they're running good. My likes are probably at like 30 to 40 cents. So each person who likes my page is super targeted, 30 to 40 cents. My blog posts that are being promoted to everybody is about 20 cents for people to read it and look at it. Those are getting opt-ins. And so now in the morning I literally get up and I check, and I got like 4 or 5 friend requests, and I got another 10 or 15 likes, and I just start reaching out to those people, and I'm like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Saw you liked my page. And then I jump over to Twitter, and I have another 4 or 5 people who liked or started following me, and then I reach out to them, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And then I just like, hey, you followed me, that's cool. And I go from there, which is awesome.
So basically he does like what, videos, podcasts, as well as then ads and different things like that, right? Is that what Vince does?
Yeah, his main strategy, he does have his own podcast. He doesn't really teach podcasting. He has a webinar inside of his program where John Lee Dumas taught it, and for everyone, John Lee Dumas even gave everybody a free book on like the 12 steps to podcasting or something like that. But Vince's main ones are Facebook, Twitter, Craigslist, and mobile ads. Those are like his 4 big ones. He teaches a lot of strategies outside of that. He teaches, he has some stuff on YouTube and video stuff, and he has some stuff on things that you would never even really think of, like crazy outside the box strategies that we do use, and they work pretty well. Like 7Search and Meetup.com and StumbleUpon. There's some cool places to put up ads that literally pennies for leads, like 3 or 4 cents a lead. It's crazy. So he teaches that stuff as well, but the 4 big ones he teaches are Facebook, Twitter, Craigslist, and mobile ads. But the cool thing about what Vince does is he's constantly redoing them all. So right now Facebook is in the process of changing everything. Well, so is he. So instead of this product being old and outdated, he's like, guys, the Facebook one is changing. He goes, right now, just walk on some eggshells. He goes, while Facebook gets their stuff together, he goes, I'm going through everything, the terms of service, everything right now. He goes, I'm going to have a whole new Facebook product out for you guys before the first of the year. He goes, that's my goal. So it's all included in our stuff. And so we don't have to worry about it. He just comes out and goes, all right, guys, this is what's changed. So make sure you make the adjustments necessary. And he's doing the same thing with Twitter. So he's revamping the entire Twitter course, because that was a frustrating thing that everyone I think has experienced in the past as well. You buy a product, because a traffic product, and it might last 6 or 8 months at the most. After 6 or 8 months, it's like done. You know what I mean? Like that strategy is exhausted, or Facebook clamped down on people. Like my friend Jessica Higdon put out an awesome Facebook training a couple years ago, and it might have lasted 6 or 8 months. We crushed it. We used it. It was awesome. And then after 6 or 8 months, it was done. But then people, there was still a lot of good stuff in it, but then people were still purchasing the product, and it wasn't as good as it was the first time. But she never redid it, not for like a year later. So that's something that he didn't want. He didn't want a product to be outdated and people to be spending money. So that's kind of how that works. So those are his 4 big ones. And then he's big on really helping people. So if you said, hey, Vince, I would love for you to do a webinar on ad copy and email campaigns, then he would do that. He'd be like, okay, guys, these are the emails you need to write. This is how you need to follow up. Or, hey, could you do a webinar on opt-in videos? Like if you send in support tickets, he's cool about building a product around that and giving it to all his level 2 members, and then he'll sell it to whomever else outside of our group. So that's cool. Catherine, were you asking price? Is that what you were asking? Oh, was someone else asking that?
Yeah, I had just said,
yeah,
I didn't know if you wanted it to go into the video or not, or if you want us to contact you afterwards, or. Yeah,
you can just hit me up afterwards and we can talk about it. That way, if you guys, it's something you want to look more into, we can check it out. So.
Okay, great. Any other questions before we end this?
I hope all of you guys got tons of good information that you can start using. Like, go crush it. Thumbs up. I like it. Definitely. Awesome. That's what I wanted. So cool. Like, I'm glad you guys. It's got you value from this, and stuff you can start implementing now and kind of getting leads and heading in the right direction.
Yeah, thank you so much for offering to do this for us. I appreciate it. I'd like to do some kind of hangouts, even like less formal or however, maybe weekly or monthly or however. See if we can get a couple people together and different topics. But this was perfect. I learned a lot. I hope you girls did too.
Cool. Yeah, and I mean, if you want, like, and you guys have more specific topics, I know this one we were kind of like all over the place because it was like at 11 o'clock last night. You're like, you want to do this? I'm like, sure. Yeah, if you give me like a heads up, even a couple days, and say, hey, we want to talk more about Bing and Yahoo, then we can tell everyone like, hey, we're going to talk more about Bing and Yahoo, and funnels or something, or how to create a relationship, and I can kind of put something together to help be more specific and more targeted. That way it's, okay, this is the one topic we're doing. So whatever you guys need.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So much. This is definitely something that I've been looking to do, but I just didn't have the right vibe with the coach. So I all the content, he's sitting here for 2.5 hours with us, so I know that this is how I feel like, okay, I know if I have a problem, he'll be there, so thank you.
And that's why I do this stuff, because I've been left in the dark so many times to figure it out myself, and I just can't take that stuff. It frustrates me so bad. And I'm like, I'm going to do my best not to have that happen. So I always try and put in the extra effort to help everybody. So, cool. Well,
we'll talk soon. Maybe next week we could do something similar. And thanks again for everybody showing up today.
You're welcome, guys. Yeah, and if we're not friends, just shoot me over a friend request. And if you guys have questions at all, just feel free to reach out.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Awesome, guys. Have a nice afternoon.
Yes,
All right,
thank you.
Good night, guys.